Chapter 841. Crazy puppet masters take the liberty to ask, which master's masterpiece is this? The rabbit-masked puppet master's chest constantly fluctuated. When he committed the crime of blasphemy against the soul and was jointly wanted by the major forces of the endless god's domains, he was not so nervous. So perfect. So pure. So beautiful. The werewolf-masked puppet master was immersed in the ultimate beauty that only puppet masters could understand. In my lifetime, I finally saw it. The fox-masked puppet master kept shaking his hands and looked at Shea Longness' fingertips as if he was looking at his daughter. The rest of the puppet masters who live in seclusion in Doll City are no better than these three. Crazy, greedy, obsessed, for those who have been committed to creating the perfect puppet all their lives, this is a miracle. Master. Shea Longness' expression was a little strange. She didn't know who her daughter's father was. He seemed to be the prince of a country. However, Assyria in her memory didn't have this person. As the queen, after she died in the blood moon, the whole country of Assyria had long been extinguished and turned into historical dust. There must be a problem with how the prince gave birth to this child with her. However, there is nothing wrong with the feeling of the bloodline. This must be her daughter. This is the child who inherited her strength, even the ancient god's affinity. By the way, the ancient god who led the blood moon and peeped into Assyria from the abyss no longer exists. Because the first thing Shea Longness did after becoming the Sky Sword was to eat the ancient god, leaving nothing left. The price she paid for this was to replace the ancient god as one of the monarchs of the abyss. Yes, Shea Longness the Sky Sword of the Sky Sword's domain, is also one of the kings of the abyss. Her god weapon is an evolutionary demonic weapon made from the remains of the ancient god. She who gazes at the abyss is also gazed at by the abyss. The queen of Assyria, captured by the ancient god, has also become an ancient god. The ancient god who forced her to wear a bloody wedding dress and wanted to devour her to become a part of itself was eventually devoured by her. In order to defeat the ancient god, she completely abandoned the concept of human beings. The 1,000-year-old queen of Assyria has become Shea Longness the Sky Sword. Her daughter, who seems to have been favored by an ancient god since birth, is a born child of God. But Shea Longness is sure that she will not become a puppet dominated by ancient gods. This child, born with her rebellious genes, will never listen to others. The ancient god attracted by her may become her food sooner or later. However, her daughter's situation is different from hers. What she longed for was not the body of slime, but the body of a doll. It seems that this is an obsession, and it is also the clearest message her daughter left to herself in her dream. Since her daughter has such a wish, then as a mother, she will realize it for her. No matter how unreasonable that wish is, Shea Longness doesn't care. The Sky Sword is originally a group of extremely willful people, most of whom are absolutely paranoid. As a Sky Sword, Shea Longness is even more famous for being unscrupulous. You don't need to know that kind of thing, I just need an answer. Always proud and confident, this is the will of Shea Longness the Sky Sword. Can you do it or not? As the representatives of the Doll City, the three puppet masters looked at each other with absolute confidence. If creating a perfect soul is something that they can't do now, then creating a body for this perfect soul is what they can really do. It's just a doll with perfect appearance, which is absolutely no problem for these powerful puppet masters. Rather, it is a huge honor. Please give it to us. In exchange, we will give it the most perfect body. You will be satisfied at that time. I am honored to take up such a task. I really want to see the miracle of the combination of a perfect soul and a perfect body soon. There were sparks in the eyes of the three puppet masters, which was a sign of the continuous emergence of inspiration. Those who can become top puppet masters are all hopeless perfectionists. At this moment, the legendary perfect soul appeared in front of them, which was tantamount to leaving a little rabbit in the wolves. No puppet master will give up this once-in-a-million-year chance. Whether they can surpass the current limit and move further towards a higher field depends on this time. Assemble the materials, this is the master's choice. Moonlight branches are good things. It must be more than 1,000 years old to make a perfect doll that conforms to this soul, and the older the better. Release the highest level reward task to those mercenaries. I need some 3,000-year-old moonlight branches, the more the better. I remember there are still high-quality rubies in stock in the warehouse, exchanging obsidian of the same quality. Are there any transactions? With the arrival of Shea Longness, the whole Doll City was boiling. On the originally calm street, one puppet master after another walked out of the house and began to go from house to house with the requirements of their respective owners, exchanging what they needed. Many people began to form alliances and couldn't wait to start the refining of dolls. The price of each material in the formula provided by Shea Longness began to rise, and the market of the whole Doll City began to go crazy. Everything is for the perfect ultimate doll. In order to create a doll with a perfect soul and body, puppet masters can trample on all moral laws in the world and trade with all intelligent creatures. There is nothing they dare not do. Everyone has their own understanding of how to make a perfect doll. They can live in Doll City, which means that their skills have basically reached the limit of human imagination. What binds them is the seemingly ethereal but real soul. Puppets without souls, even if loaded with programs that can execute commands, are just puppets like the Walking Dead. Puppets with souls, no matter how they are created, are the real beauty, the fantasy pursued by puppet masters. From the moment Shea Longness brought the soul of the perfect doll, there was no difference between day and night in Doll City. Chapter 842, Sequelae. At this time, Yunshi didn't know how the soul of White Moon caused an uproar in the distant Doll City. Now he was distressed by the strange eyes of the Starwings Knights at home. It's clearly the same morning and the same restaurant, but from the moment he stepped into this restaurant, Yunshi could feel a lot of undisguised hot eyes. The Starwings Knights, everyone looked at Yunshi coming in with a kind of eyes that wanted to talk but say nothing. For a second, Yunshi felt that he was walking into the Shura field, not the restaurant of the Starwings Knights. Good morning, everyone. After checking the perfect disguise of Parfu, Yunshi tried to pretend that nothing had happened and greeted the girls of the Starwings Knights with a smile. Good morning. Mai. The normally calm and generous leader of the Starwings Knights, for some reason some couldn't look directly at Mai at the moment. It's Mai. Xiao Cao stared at Yunshi from his hair to his toes, focusing on Yunshi's chest, showing a strange smile. Mai. I can't get married. Ling Ling, as always, ran to Yunshi, sobbing, and grabbed his hand. Last night, I had a strange dream. Mai in the dream has become a prince and likes. Speaking of this, Ling's cheek becomes like a ripe apple. Yunshi breathed a great sigh of relief. Fortunately, it's not the worst situation. Everyone thought they had a strange dream. Well, in a sense, it's true. Let the past be the past, and the future is yours. It's really strange. The probability that everyone has similar dreams is almost non-existent. Mai Lan comforted Ling, and she was also confused. Her memory of what happened in the dream was also very vague, but she remembered a moment very clearly. That's her with Ling Ling, and a prince in a dream. Can't recall. Mai Lan, you are a serious girl, how can you do such shameless things? That prince wasn't Mai, but just looked similar to Mai. She must have something wrong with her mind. Is this the so-called want-a-man? Yes, I also dreamed of Mai who became a prince in my dream. Mai also defeated a very fierce dragon. Why, in my dream, Mai married the dragon? What's this? In my dream, I'm the lover of Mai. It's really shameful. Wait, me too. What a coincidence. I'm the Duke's daughter, one of Mai's childhood sweetheart. The girls of the Starwings Knights suddenly turned into chirping birds, enjoying the plot of the strange dream last night. Although everyone could only remember some small details in the dream, they also pieced together the outline of this incredible dream. Mai, in the dream, was the prince to whom fate belonged. The Starwings Knights in the dream were loyal to the prince. Finally, the Starwings Knights also launched a rebellion to protect Mai. Love, warfare, night. All kinds of events were intertwined. For the girls of the Starwings Knights, this was epic. Mai. You. Who are you? The leader of the Starwings Knights looked at Yunshi with meaningful eyes, and then smiled. No matter what may happen to you, everyone will support you. Even if you're the prince. She must have seen something. Yunshi, who had a hunch a long time ago, broke out in a cold sweat behind him. If it weren't for the great sword maid's camouflage, plus Parfu filled the last weakness, he really didn't have the confidence to hide from the Starwings Knights in front of him. Moreover, recently, he found that the eyes of the Starwings Knights girls looked at him more and more wrong, which was not like looking at a maid. Enthusiastic and bold. Hot and sweet. Almost melt, full of happiness. The best proof of this is the connection between him and the Starwings Knights. These invisible lines were becoming closer and closer, which was proof that the fetters of the Starwings Knights and Yunshi were constantly strengthening. Yunshi himself didn't realize that his existence made the Starwings Knights constantly transform. The Starwings Knights now and the Starwings Knights when it just established are no longer at the same level. Everyone, it's just a dream. Even if he vaguely perceived something, Yunshi was still making unnecessary efforts. Well, a good dream. I hope I can have such a dream next time. Mai was really handsome in the dream. That's the prince that will appear in the fairy tale, but why not defeat the dragon, but marry the dragon home? Because it's Mai, everything is possible. Yes, Mai's luck is the best blessing in the world. After accepting this setting, everyone was happy and elated. Only a few people looked at Yunshi sweating with ambiguous eyes. The eyes of Hua Huo were warm and doting. The eyes of Xiao Cao were extremely curious and even had a trace of expectation. Robin, who has just joined the league, has disdain on her face. She seemed to have seen through Yunshi's big tail hidden behind him. Finally, little Miu Miu with a naive expression grabbed Yunshi's small hand and directly asked for a reward. Give Miu Miu bread, or I will tell everyone the truth. Yunshi quickly took out his treasured bread and blocked Miu Miu's mouth with it. Ah woo. Miu Miu, who was bought by the bread, was satisfied with Yunshi's bread, and the traces of white cream on her mouth were indescribably cute. Mai, I want bread too. Without Mai's bread, I'll die. The meaning of living is to wait for Mai's bread in the morning. Today, the girls' dormitory of the Starwings Knights was also very peaceful and full of girls' love. Chapter 843, An Impossible Farewell. After the trial, Yunshi returned to his daily life in Sword Palace. In this trial, the harvest was many times more than the previous several times, and it could even be said that it was so much that Yunshi felt unreal. The Starwings, the ultimate sword from the future memory of the starry sky, defeated the original dragon and obtained a trace of divine seed condensed by a world's belief. This is not like the reward given by the third trial, and it is not too much to be the reward of the ultimate trial. Neither the divine seed of the sun god nor the Starwings were powers he could master at this stage. In particular, the Starwings, once the magic sword releases its real power, it would become the ultimate power that shock the world. Maya, is this sword really okay? In a corner of the sword palace, Yunshi summoned the Starwings. Looking at the magic sword that became more beautiful, he asked his star elf. There's absolutely no problem. This is the most suitable sword for you, master. Maya raised her little paw, with an expression of this is the truth of the world, which made Yunshi suspicious. Master, you are the son of the great stars. Naturally, you can use the Starwings, which is located at the highest point of the starry sky. It's better to say that no one can use this sword except you. But I always think this sword is too dangerous. Yunshi couldn't describe the scenery he saw when he opened the door of the Starwings 3 times. For the first time, he saw the flying wings of the sun, like the golden red wings that were going to fly up to the 33 heavens. The second time, he saw the gentle and tolerant wing of life, leaving a unique flower in the world. For the third time, ominous black wings appeared, devouring the stars. No matter what kind of wings, they all have the power to transcend everything. But the problem is that except for the owner of the green wings, other wings are not controlled by Yunshi at all. In particular, the black wings almost caused a more terrible disaster than the original dragon. If the twin witches hadn't taken out the golden balance to balance everything, the world of the dragon war would have been eaten by this one. The power of the Starwings is so powerful that Yunshi can't control it at all. Originally he thought this was a divine sword with divine attributes, but now it seems that this is simply a big mistake. So if God would give an important task to a certain person, The first things he does is to temper his willpower, fatigue his muscles and bones, starve his stomach and destitute his body. But victory must belong to the master, to the son of the great stars. Maya pulled up her school bag, but completely avoided talking about the disadvantages of the star wings. Woof, woof, woof. Maya's 3 little attendants raised their claws together and shouted for Maya. I don't think I'm that great. Yunshi still cannot understand what the star child is. It seems very strong, but it seems very weak. It can contain all kinds of systems. No matter what kind of power, they all can be cultivated. The weak side is also obvious. His enemies are too strong to make him despair. A godlike enemy is enough. He has 4 such natural enemies. If his identity is exposed, even his teacher, Cassina the battle god, can't protect him. Master, don't worry, as long as you can grow and develop, you will eventually become invincible. Maya continued. Then I have to grow up. Do you have any news about the apostle who hunt down here? For Yunshi, this is probably the most urgent problem. The white holy dragon? She should be seriously injured and in the incubation period. There is no news for her for a long time, and the alarm is temporarily lifted. The guardian of the Sky Sword God's domain here is still very awesome, and she will not allow that kind of outsiders to act recklessly. Master, you should be able to grow steadily for a period of time. Now that you have the equipment and skills, you can only wait for the level to come up. At that time, Master, you can do whatever you want, bully anyone as you want. Can I bully the white holy dragon? Yunshi thought of the shock of seeing the holy white dragon for the first time and felt that it was still unimaginable for him. In the whole Sky Sword God's domain, nothing can bully the horrible white holy dragon, the apostle of his ex-girlfriend dragon god. Just when Yunshi fantasized that he would one day hold the star wings and fight with the white holy dragon for 3 days and 3 nights, a familiar voice appeared behind him. I found you, Shoshin. Shoshin. Yunshi was in a trance for a moment, thinking of the wild and active bride in his dream. Well, illusion, it must be an illusion. Master, I have something to do, and I need to leave now. Maya ran away directly, leaving only Yunshi with an ignorant face. Shin, Mom agreed to let us be together. It's great, this new world. Big drops of sweat fell on Yunshi's forehead. This voice, this character, no way, impossible. Why is he still dreaming during the day? How could people in dreams appeared in the real world? Was he too relaxed now, so that he heard something that shouldn't exist? Shin, I'm back. A pair of small hands covered Yunshi's eyes from behind, smiling and making a happy sound. Guess who I am? I don't believe that. Yunshi's heart sent out a silent cry, but his body was honest and couldn't avoid this question. Because the person who asked this question was the 3rd princess. In this world, there was only one person who would call him Shin. Desert Dragon Zaka? Yes, the great Desert Dragon Zaka is back. This world is really interesting, much more interesting than the world we used to live. Biting Yunshi's ear, Desert Dragon Zaka, who just got permission from her mother to meet Yunshi, was immersed in deep love. For her, this is the best world. Her mother forgave them, and they could also see Yunshi again. It's like a dream. Yunshi pushed away her fingers in front of him a little bit, turned her head very stiff, and saw the smaller Desert Dragon Zaka. There's nothing wrong. Although the body has shrunk, the chest is still very big. He even knew every sensitive point of her body clearly, because he had been played with that soft body countless times. Chapter 844. Deja Vu Whisper. Why do you look at me like a ghost? Desert Dragon Zaka looked at Yunshi with puzzled eyes. Yunshi now only felt that he must be still in the trial world. Otherwise, how could he see Desert Dragon Zaka who simply couldn't appear in the real world? Aren't the 4 Zaka sisters the fantasy of the original dragon Hua Huo? Part of her dream? Then why does the living Desert Dragon Zaka appear in the White Lotus Sword Palace? Is he still dreaming? The Dragon War world is already over. Zaka. Even though he could feel the temperature of Desert Dragon Zaka's skin, Yunshi still had a dull expression and couldn't believe it. Why did Desert Dragon Zaka really exist? Well, I'm back. Desert Dragon Zaka took Yunshi's hand and gently bit his fingers. This little action is the unique symbol of the intimacy between Desert Dragon Zaka and Yunxi. Compared with her sisters, Desert Dragon Zaka has a special tenderness. For the enemy, she is the most ruthless desert storm, while for her lover, she is the most gentle and lovely one. No matter what posture Yunxi wants to use, she will be curious and cooperate with him, and enjoy it. On the wedding night, she also half-forced her sister Ice Dragon Zaka, and then played a 3-person pure love game with Yunxi. Wild and impulsive, curious and full of action, dare to love and hate, this is Desert Dragon Zaka, the eldest sister of the 4 Zaka sisters. However, now her height had only reached Yunxi's waist and she bit Yunxi's fingers with a red face. "Why are you here?" Yunxi has begun to be confused about which side is his dream and which side is the reality. Could it be that he is still dreaming now? "Well, we woke up our mother with you." Desert Dragon Zaka recalled the last battle with some embarrassment. "Yes, we do." Yunxi also remembered that in the final battle of the Dragon War world, he and the 4 Zaka sisters worked together to display the Ultima Dragon Raw wave. At that moment, he could feel the love of the 4 Zaka sisters for him. Wild Desert Dragon Zaka, Calm Ice Dragon Zaka, Enthusiastic Red Dragon Zaka, and Silent Black Dragon Zaka. They all chose him, and even betrayed the powerful original dragon. Without their help, it was impossible to defeat the original dragon. After our mother recovered, she left the world and took us away. Now, she forgives us and brings us back to life. For Desert Dragon Zaka, the world of Dragon War was real, and their love with Yunxi was not false. The Dragon War world is the place where they were born, fell in love, and even died. Every detail there, and every minute and second spent by Yunxi, are their memories. The world was destroyed by the war between the original dragon and Yunxi. They also ended their mission and returned to the embrace of the original dragon who left the world. This is the fate of Zaka sisters, and they have no regrets about it. However, they are still a little uneasy about betraying their mother. This is probably the biggest rebellion against the powerful original dragon made by them. However, just as a mother always unconditionally forgives her rebellious children, the original dragon also forgave the 4 Zaka sisters bred from her own character. Therefore, they who should have disappeared were reborn under the power of the original dragon Hua Huo, and in order, Desert Dragon Zaka was the first to be conceived, bearing the responsibility as the eldest sister. "Hua Huo, she brought you back to life." Yunxi was gape-mouthed. He knew that Hua Huo was very strong, but he didn't know that Hua Huo was so strong. The 4 Zaka sisters were just a part of her dream. No one will take their dreams seriously when they wake up. But Hua Huo obviously realized what happened in the dream, directly allowing Zaka sisters, the people who only exist in the dream, to appear in the real world. What a terrifying force it is. Is it true that the original dragon in the dream is not just an illusion in the dream? Hua Huo really has the power of the original dragon. If it was someone else, Yunxi would never believe this absurd thing, but if the object was his own childhood sweetheart, Yunxi had to admit that any miracle and impossibility were possible. Hua Huo is really the kind of person who can break all rules and trample on all common sense. She forgives you. Yunxi's fingertips were shaking. My mother is always magnanimous. As long as she is not having nightmares, she is the cutest mother. Desert Dragon Zaka was enjoying the temperature of Yunxi comfortably. Although Yunxi was wearing the Greatsword Maid's clothes at the moment, she still smelled the familiar smell of Yunxi. It was the taste of the negative distance contact between them, intoxicating and fascinating. Soon, my sisters will also be resurrected, and then we can be together again. As a part of the will of the Great Mother, we will not actually die as long as our mother is here. The biggest secret was revealed without any intention. Desert Dragon Zaka was as careless as ever. At the same time, she, who was the most skilled in physical cooperation with Yunxi, quietly began to attack. Unlike Hua Huo, who was always too timid, Desert Dragon Zaka wanted to get closer to Yunxi and enjoy skin intimacy with him. Compared with Hua Huo, she is the princess who has long entered the adult stage with Yunxi. This is Desert Dragon Zaka, the unrestrained hot sand princess. Looking at the small Desert Dragon Zaka in his arms, Yunxi imagined the scene after Ice Dragon Zaka, Red Dragon Zaka, and Black Dragon Zaka were all resurrected. No. I will certainly commit a crime at that time. Chapter 845. Hua Huo. The world is full of criminals. But her eyes can see through all disguises. Yes, there is only one truth. Yun Shi, seduced by Desert Dragon Zaka, was about to lose control of himself and was about to become a criminal. No, I obviously want to be a gentleman, Yun Shi told himself while resisting the attack of Desert Dragon Zaka. If he obeys his own desires here, it really will be over. Moreover, for some reason, since just now, Yun Shi could feel some kind of terrifying chi locking himself in. Zaka, have you found little Shi? From the other side of the garden, the source of Yun Shi's troubles came on stage. He took a cold breath. Fortunately, there is still time to stop. If Hua Huo comes a few minutes later, it will be too late. Found him. Desert Dragon Zaka obediently raised her hand and reported to her great original dragon mother. After being forgiven by Hua Huo, the dispute between Zaka and their mother automatically ended. Thanks to the Great Mother, her mind is broader than the ocean and wider than the sky. Hua Huo. This child. Yun Shi looked at Desert Dragon Zaka in the real world with a tangled face. Why did what happened in the dream suddenly come to reality? This is wrong. Isn't the trial world a dreamlike fantasy? Why does Desert Dragon Zaka in the dream trial run out alive? Well, her name is Zaka, and she is a good child. Hua Huo looked at Yun Shi with a blush. After sharing the memories of the 4 Zaka sisters, although they were not all complete, the parts of skin to skin were perfectly preserved. Perhaps, for the 4 Zaka sisters, this was a treasure that could never be forgotten and had been engraved in their hearts. Even if the dream was over, and Zaka sisters once disappeared in the dream, but this memory was still saved. It was the memory of the Zaka sisters that Hua Huo was reluctant to let them be forgotten. In the dream, she was the ultimate creature named the original dragon, and this original dragon was born based on her as a template. Therefore, she used her immature power to breed the Zaka sisters in the real world. Now, only Desert Dragon Zaka had been born, and the other 3 Zaka sisters needed some time to hatch. She realized the feeling as a mom in advance. These Zaka sisters are the crystallization of her love and a part of her. It gave Hua Huo unparalleled excitement. Maybe she was addicted. Because, as the original dragon, she could share her senses with the Zaka sisters. So she knew what Desert Dragon Zaka did to Yun Shi just now. That was something she couldn't do by herself. Now, in front of her, Desert Dragon Zaka was also making small moves. The little toe was stepping on Yun Shi's body a little bit and rubbing a certain part. God, how could she do it so skillfully? In the end, how many things did she not learn in those memories? Just sharing, it's impossible to understand how happy Zaka sisters and her little Shi were in that dream. For her, these things that were not taught in textbooks were really beyond her imagination. Little Shi, have you had any strange dreams? After that wonderful night, Hua Huo seemed to grow up a little, and his eyes became more and more sweet looking at Yun Shi. For Hua Huo, the Dragon War world was an incredible country. She fell in love with little Shi with 4 different personalities and identities. Although she also vaguely realized that there seemed to be something wrong. In the dream, she was not only in love with little Shi, but also the enemy. However, the ultimate victory belonged to the great original dragon. Just like the prince awakened the sleeping princess with a kiss, when the 4 Zaka sisters and Yun Shi used the ultimate dragon raw wave, the outcome was doomed. Hua Huo, who woke up, forgave the 4 Zaka sisters and Yun Shi, and woke up from her dream. However, the childhood sweetheart radar on the top of her head, for some reason, completely collapsed. It must be because the stimulation was too big, Hua Huo thought so. The rivals in the dream doesn't exist in the real world anyway, so now in a particularly good mood, she forgave Yun Shi and brought Desert Dragon Zaka to him, wanting to know Yun Shi's reaction. It was a strange dream, the dream of the prince fighting the dragon. After many difficulties and dangers, I finally defeated the dragon. It was a childish dream, wasn't it? Yun Shi looked at Desert Dragon Zaka and Hua Huo with some guilt and said an answer that was not a lie. Well, it was really just the story of the prince fighting the dragon. It was a very common story that the prince defeated the dragon and saved the world. Sure enough. This must be fate. Hua Huo looked at Yunxi excitedly and didn't find that the hair clusters on her head were emitting green brilliance. My mother seems to be a little shy. Desert Dragon Zaka silently observed Hua Huo. The great, omnipotent original dragon mother seems to have fallen in love with the prince in the new world. As a Zaka, she had a premonition of this, because they were originally the embodiment of the original dragon's will. It is natural that the original dragon mother also likes the person they like. But why is the original dragon mother who gave birth to the 4 Zaka sisters so pure in this world? She is too shy. She probably doesn't even dare to kiss the prince. My original dragon mother can't be so useless. You know, even Black Dragon Zaka, the smallest and the most silent of the 4 Zaka sisters, has completed the achievement of skin to skin with the prince. It's really strange that the original dragon, who gave birth to the 4 Zaka sisters, is such a lady. Chapter 846 tMake atWish tThe HolytTree at one twerk likeethis, Great Mother. You obviously thave overwhelming power, why tear you so shy? Why tear you so hesitant? Let me teach you. Desert Dragon Zaka skillfully jumped on Tune 11's shoulder, and then put her feet ton his neck tots how hurt good pitching skills. Hey. Yunt 11, caught off guard 'twas knock it down byt Desert Dragon Zaka. Come on T-Mom, come ton. Desert Dragon Zakat was high-spirited tand elated tand extended their fingers towered that stunned what were. Sorry, this child tease noticed tot the human world. What were, flushed, picked up the willful tand reckless Desert Dragon Zaka and tran await without looking back. Hey, Mom twh why not? Tits obvious litter great opportunity. Just one it step away Taiu can. Desert Dragon Zaka's complaining voice gradually faded away tand waist covered Hua Huo. Mit Princess, ist still troublesome as always. Tune zit lay on the soft grass outside. If it goes on like this the wilt definitely commit a crime. When I set Dragon Zaka trade Dragon Zaka and Black Dragon Zaka also come out tit wilt be completelit over. I don't want tot commit crimes tin theatrial world. Fortunately white moonties not there. If that queen of Syria and the daughter tin that dream world also commit out, it will bet the end of that world. Heathers not doubt tHe wilt fight with Hua Huo tand that Zaka sister stuntil the turth breaks. Maya that lucky value tof that starchild veritlo? Event the princess tin his dream can't come tot the real world. Yunt 11 waste almost unableto believed in life. Master thithis is just ot small problem. Ast long ast you haveth star wings Taiu don tavi tot be afraid of anyone Timo returned tand continuedto chirtun zaitan, the 3rd princess, that 4th princess or something to no problem. It didn't think it's at problem at all. If it goes ton likeethis, I'll tbe finish it sooner or later. Yunt 11 profoundly reviewed that big mistakes the made tin thetrial oft the dragon tour. If het knew it, the would rather diet thousands of times in the forgotten ruins than return tot the kinked city. Maya was too confident tin him tand believed that not matter what happened, het called solved it as the star child. That fact is that after the Fort Zaka sisters came out the had to feeling of panic, tars if the waste sliding towards Dan abyss leaving that world oft gentleman forever. No tif het continues likeethis, his life wilt be on the road tof not return. He has to finta way. Thosit 4 Zarkat sisters a reth incarnation tof what were, Liketa sweet trap that makes his desire uncontrollable. Theat difficulty ist 100 times thia than that oft Hua Huo. What can help them at his time? Bith way tifitis it maybe it can give it advice. In that white lotus sword palace the secret room. What on earth should I do? Tune zit looked expectantly tat the twite bolt off light suspended in front of him, and poured out this troublous tirelessly. In fact tits not that it didn't liketh Zarkat sisters, but they are too young no. If I'm tempted bitham, it can't keep me head. I'd obviously like it Hua Huo tBut tHeir also part of Hua Huo. Can't turn at blind yet o them. Moreover to know that Starwing's night stare looking tat met more and more strangely. It always felt that some changes are taking place in mit connection with tear seeds. Did thee perceive a anything? Linger, can't you solve this problem? The big white ball-toff light suspended in front of Yun Shi, looking at his uninvitedman speechlessly. It know that you have its supreme wisdom, tand your petals can't make that impossible possible. Yun Zit looked at light ball in front of him with thopeful eyes. Linger, the treat of wisdom hidden in the deepest part of the world's straw line, tis the trial boditoff that white lotus secret treasure. Its petals can't modify that cognition of the world line and change that world. This is also thetanly treasurette Yun Zit knows that can modify reality. Since that four Zarkat sisters have it come tot the real world, that HolytTree linger natural it exists into the real world. This big white sphere of lighties that shadow oft the HolytTree lingotten theatrial world. If you can help me, wilt bring youth best treasure into exchange for your help. Yun Zit vaguely remembered this exchanged with that HolytTree linger into the Dragon Tour world, which was tan equivalent exchange. Linger, that HolytTree longed for the brilliance of the twings oft life, sot it gavit Yun Zit a petaltoff that white lotus secret treasuretto help them realize this wish. Now Yun Zit wanted tMake atWish tot the HolytTree lingat again. After baying haraset be yunt 11 overt and overt again, Lingat finally couldn't help it. Thet students oft white lotus sword palasetwo cometo thistrum were regarded it as the highest holy thing. And it can't indeed bet called one of the highest level trelix oft the skyt sword goddess t domain. Perhaps with simple force tit can't even pinch tan anto death tbut it is that power oftenless wisdom that human beings can reach. It haste always be admired, and this is the first time it is met a person like yunt 11, who't always need stand rubst it, and even sleeps ton it is at pillow. Now, it's really unbearable. When did that great white lotus secret treasure bet regarded as the love to counseling machine? You'd want solution stand ability tot resist temptation. Yes, of course. Let me show you that power of the white lotus secret treasure. This is the ultimate solution tot desire, which comes from the supremet power of Buddhism. Yunt 11 looked at the white light ball suddenly showing the handwriting in surprise, and tread the text titlethat suddenly appearing on it, the supremet demon true it record. If it didn't got o hell, two wilt go tot hell. Zero correct woman ist emptiness tis woman. Evilt against evil. Chapter 847 tThe ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll thet demon oflTheven, that incarnation oft self in heaven, that collection oft all desires in that world. In ancient times, thereat was at Sakyamuni sitting tunder thetwin trees tand het didn't move at when encountering wonderful dance oft the demons. The real is the sixth great magical powers, and 10,000 dharmas couldn't hurt him. If you want freedom and purity, you't will seek demons. Oh, to. Although Yun Zit did understand the nodded. Thist ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll is a very great thing tand mateven bet the highest leveled secret heathers evert been exposed to. Those who't want tot cultivate thist method need to have it great determination tand perseveranceto entithel first. As the saying goes, if die don't ttgo tot hell, who't goes tot hell? If you wanto subdueth demon stand achieve great purity, you must first incarnateth demons. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. This is indeed the highest divine power of Buddhism. The big white light ball looked at the excited yunt 11 with pitiful eyes. However, tit wilt not deliberately tremend hint that in the history of Buddhism twos cultivatestwo cultivated this alt became mad. This thing is not art method fought human cultivation at all. Even thoset cultivators failed to resist temptation of that demons. You really think you't can resist it? If you't can resist temptation of that demons, that temptation oft just atfuse a castus nothing. Itzy. That is such a way, tafter seeing the record stuff that ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll, Yunch's vision suddenly became clear. Yes, that's right. As long as cultivatest the ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll, the wilt no longer thave tot worry about anything. ParanirmitatVasavartintis at kind oft demon that can event seduce gods. If the cantiven ignoreth temptation of thet demons, het can naturally ignore the temptation of the fort Zarka sisters. Well, just cultiva teth ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll. Yunt 11 beganto carefully tread that cultivation method tThe ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll. However, thet more het looked, thet more strange this expression became. What that big whited light bolt showed wastenly at part oft the introductory chapter oft the ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll, tand that latter part did appear. Obviously, yunt 11 wastenart qualified to seat it now. However, teven if it istenly that introductory part titist worthy oft the name of that ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll. It is impossible for normalt people tot complete it. Really, tis this weight of cultivation? The big white light ball looked cold at him. If you don't want tot cultivate it, you can't just give it up. You'd bet it get away and never disturb mit peaceful life there again. If you want to practice this skill, you must first. Yunt 11 looked at that words written ton that ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll, and frowned. Ding. At 6-eyed mask wast thrown out of that big whited ball oft-light, and the meaning twas obvious. Either twere thist mask tot cultivate that introductory chapter of that ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll, oughtn't he bothered it again. Alas, tits really, there's not way. Yunt 11 picked up thist prop, which tis said to bet necessary fort cultivating that ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll. Do it cultivate it or not? They've not choice butto got ahead. Yuns it never thought that first step to cultivating this supremet magic power twas like ethis. That big whited light bolt looked coldlit at yunt 11 hoot finally put ton that mask, asked if het was for said to endure something. After yunt 11 left, the whited soft bolt off light began tot roll around and jumped around in the secret room happily like at big white marble. This dammit boy finalit left. Just wort that masked and gotto cultiva teth ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll. It's impossible fort human beings to finished learning iting thist life, haha. There it was ot small wooden house in the corner of whited Lotus sword palace. Some sword palace disciplest soon found this strange wooden house. They cantib suret hat the wooden house et didn't exist yesterday, asked if it suddenly appeared there. Not everyone tis qualified to build buildings int white Lotus sword palace. To keth surrounding area oft white Lotus sword palace eaters and example. Recently, due tot the new stuff that white Lotus secret treasure the realty state pricethery hast sword. That closer it is tot the whited Lotus sword palace, that more crisith priced, and the highest price haste even risent hundreds of times. However, event if yout pay 1,000 times the price you cantitbue at house in the whited Lotus sword palace. This tis that unspoken rule tof that sky sword god's domain. The sword palace in the sword tip area tis not allowed top be set foot int by enit mortals. Those businessmen teven if the wert extremely rich, to could not buy theatrial estate tof that sword palacet with money. Being table tot build at house in the whited Lotus sword palace ist enough tot represent thathi owner tof thist wooden housethers at special relation shipped with that white Lotus sword palace. Well, tits not wrong tot say so. tThe owner tof thist wooden houset does havita special relationship with white Lotus sword palace. Tot be exact this teacher casina that battle god tis that boss oft the whited Lotus sword palace, and tone oft the supremet sky swordstoff that sky sword god's domain. Asked for the treason why the built such ot small wooden house, it stab out that ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll. If you't want tot leave that mortal world you must first interth mortal world. If you't want tot get rid of that mortal world you must first experienceth mortal world. After seeing all that flowers, naturalithry ist nothing into your heart, pure and complacent, zero correct well, this is that first stepped off that training in the introductory chapter of the ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll tot listen tot the troublestoff alt things in the world. Tot this end tun zithad tot put onto masked tot listen tot the voiced off girls. Whitey's it limited tot young girls? Tun zit doesn't understand. Anyway. This is that inspiration givento himt be that greet whited Lotus HolytTree linger. If you want to practice this skill, you must first looked at that myriad sentiments in that world. Attract the ParanirmitatVasavartin disaster, summon demonstinto thist world. That furlis antignorant yunt 11 silent litrecited thigh stand bravelet embarked on the road to summonth demons. Chapter 848 tHeart AskingtCabin. Finally, yunt 11 found her weight from Robin's divination. The result tHeist heart AskingtCabin, where the uzedto maketh masked off demons. That first stepped off cultivating tHe ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll tTMake art mask that belongs tOtU. The 6 mask gavento yunt 11 bith bigtwhite lightball is just at whiteboard tand thetisk yunt 11 hasto completes fill the emotions heathers realized tinto thist demon mask. Everett demon asked a different posture, and Thea wilt not bet the summit demon masked in thist world, just as there it will nevert be thet same toot demons into this world. Thet nature oflthe ParanirmitatVasavartin ist the magicalt power tot open the ultimate cataclysm tof desires. If you can't pass it, nothing can't shake yort will again. If you can tt pass it, you wilt be swallowed be demon stand turned tinto dust. If you don't tt seed, yut will die. Into the past cultivators opened the ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll with great determination, perseverance tand wisdomto sacrificet hemselves. Well, there's nothing to with yunt 11. Hetto isn't openth ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll to cultivateta budust golden body. For teenagers, thet trouble oft love ist much more at serious. Wearing thet mask oflDemon, yunt 11 built this heart AskingtCabin tin that corner oft the sword palace by himself. Then the started the cultivation tof that ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll into waited can't make countless cultivators dumbfounded. After hesitating for a while tamong that word palaset disciples, Sumionet finally stood up and opened that door off the heart AskingtCabin. Welcome, this ist the placetto listento troubles. Tear you trapped bit love? Yunch's expression was verit strange. Fortunately this facet was coveret be thet 6 mask, otherwise the would they've beent exposed. It ist almost inevitableto havit more contact with womentif yut want tot cultivate that ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll. The cultivation tof thist Buddhist cultivation method ist really strange. Heart asking, sotis ist what it means. That girl who't opened that door sudden lit realized. This ist also ot small skilltune zit learned from the ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll. If that person ist not bothered be love, the person will subconsciously ignore the texistence of this cabin. In other words, the peer pletwo can't see that cabin aret basically suffering from that feelings. Yes, I've been very tupsit recently holding hurt braid, that girl naturalit believed yunt 11, hot exuded at soft breath. That cabin, ast the owner with that mysterious 6 mask brought hurt a verit comfortable atmosphere. Sitting tin thist cabin, hurt mood sudden lit becomes relaxed tan shet instinctively wanto talked about something. Mit name ist Zeuen. Ethave summonet I like thet troubles that tall girlstwould have the girl named Zeuent Bagan tot tell yunt 11 hurt troubles. I'm not from that white lotus sword domain tbut from the ghost sword domain. My cultivation method ist the art of ghosts tand it should not to be attracted to human beings. My bodit doesn't event have athart beating tand their tear not weak points. Tars longters that ghost contracted with met doesn't die can't avive eventif itam catinto manit pieces. This ist the price it hat must be paid to in herith ghost sword. Ithave longt been preparedto turnt myself in tota demon. But why amti sop moved now? Zeuent looked attun zit with confused ties and said hurt trouble. How dot I note we utare moved? Tun zit showed at confused looked on hist face. He istanly 16 tires, and it is too difficult to solve this kind of girlish problem. What attract styu tot the persontu like? If you didn't understand it, you thave tot pretend tot understand it. When you reach this point, you thave tot go up. It's probably that long blacked hair. It can smelt countless blood from that hair. Although shet looks very quiet, I'm sure she's carrying countless blood and killings. If it can, it won't tot see her true side tand see the crazy tand bloodthirsted look after tearing off the disguise. Underth maid's uniform, shet must hid et a weapon the. I'm certain. Zeuen's facet was intoxicated tbut thet content off the worst made yunt 11 sweat. Maid's uniform, longt black hair, tar weapon hidden under the skirt. Can it be such a coincidence, can it? Ist it my? Tune zit never expected that such a big problem would arise from the first visitor tot the cabin. Yes, she hast incredible blacked hair and tis said to be a blessed girl. I like the blacked straight hair tanned it went tot weave that most beautiful tamulet with the hair so that I can't summon meretrable and terrifying ghosts. Just looking at that smoothed black long hair, it can't bet it. Obviously haven't been humant for at long time just can't helped wanting her. That ghost power tin mitbody ist balling, and I like the remort and more but it can't finter suitable to a tot get clasetto her. If these goes ton, one day it will lose et control oft myself. Can you tell me tis this love? Zeuant pressed heart and showed at pitiful expression. No, tits onlit because you retta pervert. Yunt 11 wanted to shout out loudly but het finally endured tit. This ist the first gust tot his heart asking cabin. The cantiti let his disguised imaget collapse sot soon. Yes, imagine timagine, itam at mysterious strongt person. Yunt 11 quickly recalled that figures oft the legend trank strongt people het knew in his mind. Casanath battle it god. No, cheese that that will rot in artmiss after getting drunk. Ouroboros. She ist also at drunk fool. tThe second drunkard. Hydra that water god. Tino. After 10,000 years off sleep, the first thing Shet did after she woked up was to find herself at bride. Shea longness. That's event worse. Sheety's art monster that will destroy the world. Zero correct yunt high that sky sword. The through out at question oft whether that is at cat, and this haste made countless sholers in the endless gods domainst crazy. Under this gentleman-like appearance, hetis and especially bad prankster. The white-it holy dragon. She ist the dragont gods apostletwo camit from tearing the void. Nothere toot little. Finally, Yunt 11 almost recalled all the legend ranked people het knew about tanned fountainly one object that called bet imitated. The dimmed shadow heathers dreamed toff many times. That protectotwo haste stood in front oft the Escoati tower fought thousands oft years. Lilybet that ice blew its sword holder. Chapter 849 lOutline oflDemons many times, Elun zilukt atLth girl standing in front oflthe gattle connecting heavenland earthlat the lend oflis dream. Thriel strands oflis bluel hair clusters stood uplin frontlof hurl forehead, thel slender bradle fell behind la, thel cuffs well inlaid withal steel bluel gemstones, andolth sword shapel streamers atLth cornerslof hurl skirt fell, elging himla veril cold senselof alienation. Inl front offel her, there was alwaysla beigel blue sword inserted obliquely. Thel's word was more slendel than hurl slender body land thel blade shawedla cold silver white. The partlof thel hilt alanel was halfla meter long. The central part connecting Ulth hilt land bladel was al circular compass. Lin thel center oflthe compass lTheir wasla hugel keyhole, wickle had never been opened. Everil time Yun 11 sawla, hell would feel the horrorlof death. Thel cold pallor blue swordlight haddle killed Yun 11 overland overlagen, leaving lan indelible mark on Yun she. Holari you? Why lair Yulin mile dream? Your sword lees. Later, Yun 11 knew her nameland Wattleth rodel behind Hull represented. Thousands o fly years o for protection, thel eternal isle blue swordal holder. She isltha Sequelae sword withilth noblest land mostal mysterious temperament lin thelegend ranked existence cecil known tol Yun she, which island linel with all Yun 11's fantasies about the legendal rank and leven thel dream lover. Hylabove, sacred land inviolable. Laf Hua Huo isltha queenlof summerland thel golden glow, elthan Sheely's thel god awful winter andolth cold l'aurora. For Yun 11, Sheely's alsolth onla inaccessible, dreamlical existence. He called Limagine thel future oful marrying Huelhua, butal one cleven harvel that ideal about Lilybet. Even no that'll hazelth rightlto entelth Escoel tower andal can seal her, helcanti harveleni blasphemous Lydias about la. Maybe that sulthur feeling lof seeingal gods. Yun zil has nol belief inl gods, but lif their lees, inlis mind lthe closestelto gods lees notlis teacher, el casina thel battle god, el not shile longness thel sky sword el but her. Fantasy, legend, Yunla 11 recaldlid her outline, land hislone temperamental begin tol gradually become ethereal. Demons harvel countless forms. They arrelborn in response tol hundreds ofl millions ofl desires. At thistlement, Yunla 11 unconscious lil depicted partlof the lOutline oflthe demon lin hislavision. She should lave thel same breathlas lilibet, so that'll people can tlc her real appearance. Onlthe 6 lead demonal mask, strangel patterns beganalto appear, making youngses temperamental more andal more ethereal, I just likealthe temperamental of thel dark bluel sword holder. That lees thel eternal breathelthat hassle-crossed thelong riverlof timeland remains unchanged. It islthe grainslof sandland gravel precipitated in listery, immortal land mysterious. Firmlil watch thel door between heaven and earth, even if thel stars change lit will not change. What do you'll desire? After simulating partlof lilibitsl breath, Youngses eyes looking atlzun al sol became soft. Atal this moment,Elyun zil became extra mellow mysterious inlthe eislof zun. Itlas tolby sidlethat Yunla 11 master ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll andal easililfold theltalented girl from thelghost sordal domain. When opening ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll, lThe cultivatorslov all generations cultivated lThe secretlart ofl summoning demonsluith supramelwisdom andal greet perseverance. Fourtham, Thel ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll Isla Disasterland al Karma. Onlilby usingalthe supramal Buddhist Karmalto moval ParanirmitatVasavartin tHeart andal make it'll begin toldo goodal things, can'the achievealthe so-called all Buddhist golden status. What they'll do islet those'll who aral suffering from love get away from off painslof thel world andal cut awflthe relationships with their lovers. At the lendo flethis road, thos cultivators'll will sealth demanal representing thel extreme desirelof thel world, that lees, their lone catastrophe. Evenalth wisest cultivator can't remain unmoved lin thel face oflthe powerlof theldemon, and'll finally dilat thelhands oflthe demon. On lilth cultivators luho harvel done countless good deeds'll can survival this disaster, I get ridlof thel mortal body land achievealthe golden status offal Buddhism. However, thel method ofliunzil cultivating thel ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll I'll not thel same asselthat oflthes cultivators. What'll askedalfa was not ul golden status let alanella disasterlof immortals. Heldedanti evenhavan lacurate conceptlof demons, land heldedanti nolhow carefulilthe cultivatorsluir wenthe cultivatedlthe ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll. What'll unzilwants islandly thelability tol resist temptation laughter cultivatinglth ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll. Inlo the words what thel cultivators want lees thel result oflultivating thel ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll. What Yunla 11 wants lees thel cause oflultivating thel ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll. Hell wants theldemon itself. From ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll, Buddhism seeksalto transform lThe demonslinto GreatlXistances. As for yun shi he I'll not interested lin thelway tol transform theldemons, and'll will not transform lThe demons. Las long las hell gets immunitilto theldemons inlthe processlof cultivating lth demons he doesn't elmond other things. One is l'intentional, tHeir is unintentional. Probablil since thelbirth oflthe ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll, lno onellas cultivated lit in this way. Yunla 11 didn't know what level ofl cultivation methodalthis ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll was, and'll just'll started tol cultivate it'll directly. The first'll demon hell visualized is'll mysterious and l'indifferent, which lees represented'll be lilibetlas altemplate. It hasselto bell said that'll zilhas altalent for cultivating demons, land hell succeeded in this first attempt. At thistlement, inlthe eislof zun zil with al6 ilmask exudidla stable, reassuring, mysterious land profound flavor. Zero correct as algenius oflthe ghostal sword domain, Elsha has'll never seenlthis temperamentleven inlthe masterlof thel ghost swordal domain. I want to grabble her longal black hairland steplen itl with mile feet. I would like tolby entangled be thosel has, and I will never bellborn again. Praise thel beautiful blackle hair, which lees my love. Her black long hair lees thelbist inlthe world. Chapter 850 lPrincess oflthe GreatlXia Kof, Missile Zun, your sexuality I'll very dangerous. Yunla Leven looked lat Zeun with pitiful eyes andal shrugged hissels holders. If Helly's al cultivator, there lees al conventional methodalto deal with thistle situation. Some cultivatorsal will uselthe greatal wisdom tol guide Zeuanlto breakal her heartal barrier. Some cultivatorsal will recitelth sutral 3600 timeselto moval Zeun. Some cultivatorsal will uselthe fistsalto teachal my Allison and let Zeun give up la idea. Well Elun zillies not la cultivator so helwinti dolthat. All helcould dol was not do anything. In lo the words what hell did was a listen. It il enough fall him tol cultivate thel ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll withelthis heartal AskingtCabin. So do you understand? Yunla Leven didn't know what lo makelthe other party understand. Anyway, just'll pretend that'll wazzledung things. Well Lee see thank you Zeun's eye sparkled, aslif it led openedthe dalto al new world. Sometimes the islandly al piece offal paper betweenlthe normal world andlth dangerousal world. Yun zil just listen edelto Zeun'sl troubles andalstead atla, which'll made her understand what lasha real wanted in la heart. Brave lil break thel secular prejudice, face your lone inal desire, and ultrally realize elia unknownal side. This ilone oflthe abilities lofdemons. Demons arrelborn in response tol hundreds millions ofl desires and ulthe natural have thel ability tolinfect people. Thistle kind ofl power could leaven makelthos asceticla cultivators fall, not tol mention youngle girls. Of course thos cultivatorsal canti complainlif thel canti defeatlthe demons. They lookidlfa itl themselves. Therefore, opening of ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll will bell regarded asla disaster, because fassingth demons requires endlsal wisdom andal confidence. I see. Lee needlethis kindlof longal black hair. Ilwanti bell lost anymore biting hurl hair, Zeun la geniusal girl from ghostal sword domain left thelkabin without hesitation. The Anselshire askedlfa hasla appeared. Yun Zalalso successful harvested thel first material for casting demonal mask. Like black long hair, Yun zilukt atalth material collected from Zeun, and lad albert premonition. Soon lThe secondal guest oflthe heartal AskingtCabin lalso came. Withla blackal ponytail and linterlaced swordslan hurlback, thistle was aljul whose lies werewolful ofl confusion. Yun zilknaus her. She isla princessal from thel GreatlXia. Before Hua Huo camelto thel white lotusal sword palace, Elsha wassel recognized aslathe chieflof thel white lotusal sword palace. Why lees there'll suck almonster inlthis world? Princess zeal ling, sitting lin frontlof Yunla Leven, wars full oful troubles andal confusion. Monsters. Yunla Leven morella lessel guest what'lth princess trouble was. After all, that trouble was one lof hissel troubles. Yes, thel real monster. Tol tell yolth truth Lee consider myself first class genius lin thel world. This I'll not mile boast. Since I was la child Lee harvel been thelbist genius lof mileage. Theltatal numberlof talents defeated Bilmi Shudalba Asselmani Asla battalion. Elshia Lingelfell in tol memories. Most oflthe royal children oflthe GreatlXia harvel experienced strictal cultivation sinceal childhood, and ulthe wilgit thelbist trainingal from birth. Measuringal talents, selectingal weapons, and leaven thel future growthal direction has long been larranged. Just'll show your talents and'll constantly become stronger, land you'll can realizeal your wishes. Shia lingal did it. Her strongal's word talent'll made hurl elders ecstatic, land shell was praised last one lof thel candidates fourth GreatlXia's national good weapon lThe GreatlXia's dragonal sparrow. From an early age Shia lingal was not interested in anything except fencing. When tHeir princess'll were resting Shia was cultivating hurl sword. When thel princes finish edlth swordsmanship'll course and'll played, Shell was still cultivating swordsmanship. Inlthe deadlof night Shia warsel still cultivating la swordlunder thel moonlight. In essence Shia linglies such la simple person. There is almost nothing lin hurl world except the sword. Theladol shellworships is liun hail the Sequelae sword, thel god weaponlsha wanselto onlys thel GreatlXia dragon sparrow land thel most important thing shellwants islto becamella Sequelae sword. The Sequelae sword islthe fantasalof countless teenagers in the Sequelae sword domain, but fuel people can really move forward with this goal. Ling was lone oflthe best among those few people. For this purpose Elsha divided la everyday very carefully, and leaven compressedlthe time for eating land didn't miss an opportunity to improve. White Lotusal secret treasure lees one lof thel roads thatlsha hazelth mosel chance tolgit closelto thel sky sword. Shall naturally camelto thel white Lotusal sword palace las an international student, land natural defeated all her rivals land becamelth well deservedlchif oflthe whiteal Lotus swordal palace. According to la plan laughter receivinglthe favorlof thel white Lotusal secret treasure, Elsha will return tolthe GreatlXia swordal domain andal practice hardalto impact la heil ream. Everything in la life lees fourth saklof becamingla Sequelae sword. However, this life planlas bin completely disorderedl since Shelmit Hua Huo. The battle with Hua Huo completely broke her life planland madalher wondal whether shellcalled real'll become sky sword. It'll felt like lan impassable wall suddenly appeared in front of her. All the difficulties'll she encountered lin thel past were'll not worth mentioning comparedle with Hua Huo. This wall lees sol high thatlshia lingal canti even'll see thel top, andalsha cantleven sealth hoplof turning lit over. How could the rel be such la monster lin thistle world? Because she lees al genius oflthe GreatlXia swordal domain, ling canalfeel theltra oflHua Huo leven more. Likel yun she lThe closelayu getlto Hua Huo, thel stronger you'll can feel her. Shia ling I doubting herself for thel first time kept reflecting lan hurl battle with'll Hua Huo, land hurl mind warsful oflthe shadowlof Hua Huo. She even'll stopped when'lsha saw this strange'll heart AskingtCabin. She has'll things shellwants tolno and'll questions shell can't answer. Therefore Elsha camel here tolask hurl heart, tortural her heart land lookalfa and lancer. Chapter 851, the Princess SL troubles I strong, Iverian says I strong. Ling's voice'll gradually becamel trembling. In front lof Yunls's mask coveredle face, the arrogant princess finally opened la heartland sidle what shell had never told anyone. But no there lees all wall in front oful me. Can't even think oflany whaleto climb lover it. Have never had such a despair and fear in me life. Well tell me what should'll I do? Thistlers becamel me internal demon. If lie don't lovercome it lmy life'll will end lear. I can't stop herelif ilwant tolby sky sword. No matter what you are, tell mel what ills hold dolto climb lover thizzle wall. As long las can surpassla, can pay laney price. LDID shall notice. Yun zil found thatlth princessel from thel GreatlXia was indeed lone oflthe most outstanding geniuses lin thel white Lotusal sword palace, land unexpected lil discovered thel strangeness oflethis heart'll AskingtCabin. However leven so Elsha could'll not get rid offal her own desires, sol she confided la heart'll feeling to la stranger. Her problem can't be solved'll be just listening to la situation, because shell can't solvelth problem lerself. Of course yun zil can't solvelth problem'll too. Hell can't doll anything tol surpass his invincible childhood's we theat. The powerlof Hua Huo islthat thelmore you'll understand it, lThe morel horrible it'll will be. Thistle princess from GreatlXia haslanly been lin contact with Hua Huo once, land hell has been'll defeated bewell Hua Huo countless times. There are lair manal problems in the world which are unsolvable. You want to surpass la? Thel 6 isel mask yun 11 warl radiated strangulite. The degree lof annoyance lof ling isle stronger and lotta thanthat offers un jussel now. If thel power ofel desire can'll be absorbed lThe demons will get'll better nourishment. So he must'll do it. Fortunately he has la clue about thistle problem. After all, itlis about lis first love and'll childhood sweetheart. Yes laf can't surpass la and'll become thel strongest. Can't have a newel future. Ling looked up atl yun she lair iselful oful desire. So, you want to surpassal casina thel battle god? Or do you'll want tol surpass eonialthi supal god? Do you'll want tol suppress yashalthi dragonal god? Do you'll want tol defeat thel west queenlof kunlun god's domain? Yun smiled land askadulshia ling well, li think. Yes, li want to become stronger. Zeal ling's isel gradually become hot, and lTheir was la burning flame inside. Well elthis isletha answer law hint I given bewayun she. Because he hassle for super strong exel friends, hell has never stopped yearning for becoming stronger. Therefore, hell was particular liable to understand Zeal ling's hesitation. There lies Hua Huo aslethe benchmarkland theltwin whiches last they'll reference. Helly's not proud oflthe little achievement hell has done lat all. However, LDID yun 11 lacellis confidence. Thelans were, ofl course, isel no. One oflthe greatest advantages ofliun zillies that'll camelmaster hissel position and'll plan his life at any time. When Lee was la mortal, Lee his future was tolmarry al Chidhood sweetheartland spendless lifelin ulsmall town. After awakening thel fate ofl baying thel starchild, hisselgol becamelto escapel from thel pursuit offlis forlex girlfriends land livelwell. No matter which life lit is liun 11's choice. With onlil choice, yun 11 isle free and lunfettered. It's just la leal that everyone lees born equal, but lat leastal coos your lone life. This lees wattleyun she lw isloptimistic bilnature, reminds ulshia ling there iselno endelto becoming stronger. Thelwall you'll see now lees actualilla partloff your life. It ilia choicel heather tollcross thistlewall all stay inlfront offlit. If you look at lit from la higher level, Thelwall inlfront offliu mailno longle be a slinsurmountable asliu imagined. Ilse. I am, trapped. Too narrow-minded tolsi thel wider world. Halha. It has lso. Was troubled be suchal problems. Zeal ling wiped away hurl tears and leld thel double dragonal sword behind la again. Elher isl became brightland vivid. Thankliu. Ilse. I'm still too weak. Ilhave tol be stronger. Wherever I fall, land no matter how many times'll I lose, li should'll still movelan as long as li live. If li can't overcome thistle difficulty, how can il possibly becamella skwl sword? Does shell take thel sky sword last thel goal? Yun 11 nosel where Zeal ling's persistence lies. If it lis her, maybe shall really hazelth opportunitilto becamella skwl sword. Yun 11 can'll feel thel passion from double dragon swordlan hurl back. She I'll really al genius whole can givel up everythingle for thel sake oflthe sword. She can't see anything except thel's word in la eyes. Thel sky swordal god's domain I just because lof one'll such swordal genius after lanatha, can'll give birthelto sol many skwl swords. The stronger will ofl countless swords menlias even distorted thel shape offl god's domain, elging birthelto sword chapel domains that lair differental from a lother goddess domains. The GreatlXia isletha highestal sword domain. Ju elhan andal tang arelth threal secondary swordal domains. Tienhe, ghost, elbuluo, long yuan elshwan yuan andalmani other slair middleland lowell sword domains. Thelmost ancient sky sword lees lilybet. Shile longness isletha mostal bizarre skyl sword. Cassina thel battle god lThe skyl sword oflthe sandlof time. Yunlhai thel sky sword lees one lof thel godslayer skyl swords. Looking atlshia ling yun zil seemed tolbia blelto sealth epitomalof thelhwal skyl sword goddess domain. She islanded qualifiedalto bela skyl sword. But whatlisha metlaws Huelhua, which lit whole self-confidence. 0 correct thank you. Li feel muck better. Just Hua Huoli's still a beagle problem. Can you'll tell Mel why she lees soul strong? In terms lof age lit islam possible full human bangselto reachlethis level at thislage. After solving her problem, Zeal ling's expression became morel cheerful. In essence Elsha isla veral simple girl. Chapter 852 Their secret in this world lTheir arelmany mysteries. Yun 11 doesn't know wh well Hua wall can bel so strong. LNO matter what opponents' faces, Hua whole never shows timidity and anxiety. This isl true even when Shell was in contact with Casina thel battle god, Lilibit thel sky sword land shile longness. In the Lina world lof Hyderorth wartle god, Shalivan dareslato kilthi legendaral fantasy creatural Ouroboros. If our Aborisliden Heidel beside Thel Casina Thel battle god, Elsha Mitelb realal beaten up. Thelatist Dragon War Trialas Refreshedalune 11 Slunderstanding Offless Childhoods We Theat again. Shall actually created Zarkal sisters Thatlanly existlin dreams. Eifelsohn Seidel That Hua Huo Wasselth original Dragon, Yun 11 wood'll believe it. Abyss Law Nightmares Law. Comparedal with Yun 11, Zealling obviously understands Thel concept awful non-human better. Afterall, Sheely's lPrincess oflthe GreatlXia Sordal domain. Even Eifelsha la Cecilto Huelhua, Sheely's stiller genius laming Theltalents. Countless lapiers aral covered by la brilliance. Nol matter whole shiz Elsha Islatha opponental I needleto catchlup with. If lie wasn't labeled tollface her Lee 1 tlbe Thel real skwl sword. Like Aliung Birdle who experience sedlth stormlatak andlance againl spread itzel wings. Zealings Iselhave Beckamelmore determinedalthan before. Thel frustration ofel baying defeated'll be alpeer. The confusion lof loosinglth waylorf goinglf forward. And Thel new dawn that finalal broke outlof Thel shell when'll facing herself inlthis cabin. In la eyes lTheir was no confusion. Instead, shell had some'll kind ofel belief after rebirth. Well, that's still good. It's really inspirational. Yun 11 almostel forgot that'll was no shapingt demons. However, lThe nexel second, Yun 11 foundel that thingsel seemed tolby goinglin all strange direction. Remember the prerequisites lof seeingletize heartal asking cabin land paying attention tollit. This isletha placel that on lil girls whole suffer from love will find, thelnest werelth demonslair bread. Apartal from tHeldemons themselves, lTheir isel no opposital sex, just like Thelsecret gardenlof girls. Therefore Elshia lingle will naturalil have troubles. Yun 11 didlet hurl solve Thel problem off a wall, but lawso plantedal seeds. At thistlement, Thel seeds beginelto sprout. Whenlth Princelof Thel great Zyle turned around land leftelune 11 tHeart askingle cabinet, and Ulthan Youngses 6 idle demon maskell prompted that lit collectedlthe martior lesbian con, Elune 11 slchin waslabout toldrap. Did tHiSlPrincess from GreatlXia Harvaleni special feelings tuadal Hua Huo because shell was defeated'll be Huelhua? Why isl this result? Elisnt shell supposed tol cultivate hardle from Nowlan and lave all sunny ending? Wildo's Thelmask collect the material lesbian? Before Yun 11 recovered'll from this, lan other newel victim camelto visit. This time lThe where Ellie's acquaintances. Lingle ling andal my lan. Lingle ling touchedlth wordslan Theldor curiously, while male lan warsel holding a lot ofeld arguments with la depressedl expression, apparent lilpald overlear bewell ling ling ala, it's la so interesting gla. Let us go inlto gether, lanal lan, how menal times Harvalai said. Eldon T corm bilthat name. Elam not lan lan. It'll will bell bad if'll these documentsler not la given tolthe leader. Li havelno temelto accompanilu tolsuck al suspicious place. It's not suspicious lat all. Lit feels good here, ling lingslintuition was last good last ever land shaloost hulbig chestelto knocklopen theldor oflthe cabin. Withel familiar dialogue land familial plesness, todalth toolgirls were last energetic last ever. Welcome ldo you'll have enil worries. Yun 11 tookla deepel breath. After ling lingle came in he alwaysult thatlth painting style oflthe heartal asking cabin was wrong. Docil this sillaland sweetel girl alsel have trouble in love? Yes lies, yes. Ling lingle raised hurlhand highland sidler troubles highly. Recently, always feel that mile breasts aral not enough. Lees there Eleni whalto increaseltham? Yun 11 warsel silent. Male lan pressedla forehead. Ilhave tridalto drinklepire milklin thelmorning, snoll shellfish stewardal milk at noon, and loney milklat night, elbert ilways thinklet I'll not enough. Lees there Eleni secretly sipe thatlcan continuelto increaselth sizelof milechist. Lingle ling, withla nivel expression, askadal yun she. Thatlacute face with albig chest lees realilla crime. Yun 11 felt that Theldemon hell-incarnated waslabout to los control. Well, Lee all solwent tolno thistle question. Maybelsh waslinfected byl ling ling elmy lan also askedolf samel question. Is there Eleni whalto quicklil grow yorchist? I hardle that summal witches can'll make magical drugs that'll can quick'll develop theal breasts. Well, lOuthe tHeir AskingtCabin question, at least Maillan has more common sense. Is tHeirella secretl method ofl breast enhancement? Lun zil searched thel ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll and all found tHeir was no similar record onlit. Probably, thel cultivators whole cultivated thel ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll had no needle for this. Mabel Yun zil will getlth corresponding knowledge from oflDemon laughter summoning lit, but not now. Yul will growl again. Believe in yourself. It's not that yun 11 ileing. 0 correct thanks to l'adequate nutritionland exercise, lThe girlslof thel starwings nightslayer developingle well recently. One lof them 11 undle guidance lof youngsis seed l'awakened theltalent belongingle witchesland hadlto shylilty hurl chest with bandages tolavoid bangle regarded asla traitor lby hurl friends. However, unfortunately my landsl growth I'll not high. Maybe shellhars null hope oful reaching thel same size las lingling in la life. However, baying smalalso has lan advantage lof bangles more. Yun 11 doesn't discriminate against girls with small breasts. As for wilth girlslof thel stars nightslcare so much about let higher breasts Elun zilded t thinkelthat helshed nolthy truth. Chapter 851, The Princess's Troubles PS, https://yanchirengine.com index. PHP category Shenxia Starchild escapes arranged marriage. I'm strong, everyone says I'm strong. Xia Ling's voice gradually became trembling. In front of Yun Shi's mask-covered face, the arrogant princess finally opened her heart and said what she had never told anyone. But now there is a wall in front of me. I can't even think of any way to climb over it. I have never had such despair and fear in my life. Well, tell me, what should I do? This has become my internal demon. If I don't overcome it, my life will end here. I can't stop here if I want to be a sky sword. No matter what you are, tell me what I should do to climb over this wall. As long as I can surpass her, I can pay any price. Did she notice? Yun Shi found that the princess from the GreatlXia was indeed one of the most outstanding geniuses in the White Lotus Sword Palace, and unexpectedly discovered the strangeness of this heart-asking cabin. However, even so, she could not get rid of her own desires, so she confided her heart feeling to a stranger. Her problem can't be solved by just listening to her situation, because she can't solve the problem herself. Of course, Yun Shi can't solve the problem too. He can't do anything to surpass his invincible childhood sweetheart. The power of Hua Huo is that the more you understand it, the more horrible it will be. This princess from the GreatlXia has only been in contact with Hua Huo once, and he has been defeated by Hua Huo countless times. There are many problems in the world, which are unsolvable. You want to surpass her? The six eyes mask Yun Shi wore radiated strange light. The degree of annoyance of Xia Ling is stronger and hotter than that of Ziyuan just now. If the power of desire can be absorbed, the demons will get better nourishment. So, he must do it. Fortunately, he has a clue about this problem. After all, it is about his first love and childhood sweetheart. Yes, if I can't surpass her and become the strongest, I can't have a new future. Xia Ling looked up at Yun Shi, her eyes full of desire. So, do you want to surpass Cassina the battle god? Or, do you want to surpass Ionia the super god? Do you want to suppress Yasha the dragon god? Do you want to defeat the West Queen of Kunlun God's domain? Yun Shi smiled and asked Xia Ling, well, I think. Yes, I want to become stronger. Xia Ling's eyes gradually became hot, and there was a burning flame inside. Well, this is the answer, or hint, given by Yun Shi. Because he has 4 super strong ex-girlfriends, he has never stopped yearning for becoming stronger. Therefore, he was particularly able to understand Xia Ling's hesitation. There is Hua Huo as the benchmark and the twin witches as the reference. He is not proud of the little achievement he has done at all. However, did Yun Shi lose his confidence? The answer, of course, is no. One of the greatest advantages of Yun Shi is that he can master his position and plan his life at any time. When he was a mortal, his future was to marry a childhood sweetheart and spend his life in a small town. After awakening the fate of being the Starchild, his goal became to escape from the pursuit of his 4 ex-girlfriends and live well. No matter which life, it is Yunxi's choice. With only choice, Yunxi is free and unfettered. It's just a lie that everyone is born equal, but at least choose your own life. This is what Yunxi, who is optimistic by nature, reminds Xia Ling. There is no end to becoming stronger. The wall you see now is actually a part of your life. It is your choice whether to cross this wall or stay in front of it. If you look at it from a higher level, the wall in front of you may no longer be as insurmountable as you imagined. I see. I am trapped. Too narrow-minded to see the wider world. Ha ha. It's so. I was troubled by such problems. Xia Ling wiped away her tears and held the double dragon sword behind her again. Her eyes became bright and vivid. Thank you. I see. I'm still too weak. I have to be stronger. Wherever I fall, and no matter how many times I lose, I should still move on as long as I live. If I can't overcome this difficulty, how can I possibly become a sky sword? Does she take the sky sword as the goal? Yunxi knows where Xia Ling's persistence is. If it is her, maybe she really has the opportunity to become a sky sword. Yunxi can feel the passion from the double dragon sword on her back. She is really a genius who can give up everything for the sake of the sword. She can't see anything except the sword in her eyes. The sky sword god's domain, just because of one such sword genius after another, can give birth to so many sky swords. The strong will of countless swordsmen has even distorted the shape of God's domain, giving birth to sword-shaped domains that are different from all other God's domains. The GreatlXia is the highest sword domain. Ju, Han, and Tang are the 3 secondary sword domains. Tianhe, Ghost, Buluo, Longyuan, Shenyuan, and many others are middle and lower sword domains. The most ancient sky sword is Lilibet. Shea Longness is the most bizarre sky sword. Cassina the battle god, the sky sword of the sand of time. Yunhai the sky sword is one of the Godslayer sky swords. Looking at Xia Ling, Yunxi seemed to be able to see the epitome of the whole sky sword god's domain. She is indeed qualified to be a sky sword. But what she met was Hua Huo, which hit her self-confidence. Thank you. I feel much better. Just, Hua Huo is still a big problem. Can you tell me why she is so strong? In terms of age, it is impossible for human beings to reach this level at this age. After solving her problem, Xia Ling's expression became more cheerful. In essence, she is a very simple girl. Chapter 852. Their secret in this world, there are many mysteries. Yunxi doesn't know why Hua Huo can be so strong. No matter what opponents she faces, Hua Huo never shows timidity and anxiety. This is true even when she was in contact with Cassina the battle god, Lilibet the sky sword, and Shea Longness. In the inner world of Hydera the water god, she even dares to kill the legendary fantasy creature Ouroboros. If Ouroboros didn't hide beside the Cassina the battle god, she might be really beaten up. The latest Dragon War trial has refreshed Yunxi's understanding of his childhood sweetheart again. She actually created the Zaka sisters that only exist in dreams. If someone said that Hua Huo was the original dragon, Yunxi would believe it. Abyss, or nightmares, or. Compared with Yunxi, Xia Ling obviously understands the concept of non-human better. After all, she is the princess of the GreatlXia sword domain. Even if she loses to Hua Huo, she is still a genius among the talents. Countless peers are covered by her brilliance. No matter who she is the opponent I need to catch up with. If I wasn't able to face her, I won't be the real sky sword. Like a young bird who experienced the storm attack and once again spread its wings, Xia Ling's eyes have become more determined than before. The frustration of being defeated by a peer. The confusion of losing the way of going forward. And the new dawn that finally broke out of the shell when facing herself in this cabin. In her eyes, there was no confusion. Instead, she had some kind of belief after rebirth. Well, that's good. It's really inspirational. Yunxi almost forgot that he was now shaping the demons. However, the next second, Yunxi found that things seemed to be going in a strange direction. Remember the prerequisites of seeing this heart-asking cabin and paying attention to it. This is the place that only girls who suffer from love will find, the nest where the demons are bred. Apart from the demons themselves, there is no opposite sex, just like the secret garden of girls. Therefore, Xia Ling will naturally have troubles. Yunxi did let her solve the problem of wall, but also planted seeds. At this moment, the seeds begin to sprout. When the prince of the Great Xia turned around and left Yunxi's heart-asking cabinet, and then Yunxi's six-eyed demon mask prompted that it collected the martial lesbian con, Yunxi's chin was about to drop. Did this princess from the Great Xia have any special feelings toward Hua Huo because she was defeated by Hua Huo? Why is this result? Isn't she supposed to cultivate hard from now on and have a sunny ending? Why does the mask collect the material lesbian? Before Yunxi recovered from this, another new victim came to visit. This time, they were his acquaintances. Ling Ling and Mai Lan. Ling Ling touched the words on the door curiously, while Mai Lan was holding a lot of documents with a depressed expression, apparently pulled over here by Ling Ling. It's so interesting here. Let's go in together, Lan Lan. How many times have I said? Don't call me by that name. I'm not Lan Lan. It will be bad if these documents are not given to the leader. I have no time to accompany you to such a suspicious place. It's not suspicious at all. It feels good here. Ling Ling's intuition was as good as ever, and she used her big chest to knock open the door of the cabin. With familiar dialogue and familiar helplessness, today the two girls were as energetic as ever. Welcome. Do you have any worries? Yunxi took a deep breath. After Ling Ling came in, he always felt that the painting style of the heart-asking cabin was wrong. Does this silly and sweet girl also have trouble in love? Yes, yes, yes. Ling Ling raised her hand high and said her troubles shyly. Recently, I always feel that my breasts are not enough. Is there any way to increase them? Yunxi was silent. Mai Lan pressed her forehead. I have tried to drink papaya milk in the morning, snow shellfish stewed milk at noon, and honey milk at night, but I always think it is not enough. Is there any secret recipe that can continue to increase the size of my chest? Ling Ling, with a naive expression, asked Yunxi. That cute face, with a big chest, is really a crime. Yunxi felt that the demon he incarnated was about to lose control. Well, I also want to know this question. Maybe she was infected by Ling Ling. Mai Lan also asked the same question. Is there any way to quickly grow your chest? I heard that some witches can make magic drugs that can quickly develop their breasts. Well, although they are asking the same question, at least Mai Lan has more common sense. Is there a secret method of breast enhancement? Yunxi searched the ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll and found that there was no similar record on it. Probably, the cultivators who cultivated the ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll had no need for this. Maybe Yunxi will get the corresponding knowledge from the demon after summoning it, but not now. You will grow again. Believe in yourself. It's not that Yunxi is lying. Thanks to adequate nutrition and exercise, the girls of the Starwings Knights are developing well recently. One of them, even under the guidance of Yunxi's seed, awakened the talent belonging to witches and had to shyly tie her chest with bandages to avoid being regarded as a traitor by her friends. However, unfortunately, Mai Lan's growth is not high. Maybe she has no hope of reaching the same size as Ling Ling in her life. However, being small also has an advantage of being small. Yunxi doesn't discriminate against girls with small breasts. As for why the girls of the Stars Knights care so much about their breasts, Yunxi didn't think that he should know the truth. Chapter 853 F No Way. Chest Fetish. This is the sentiment fragment Yunfeleven obtained from Mayflan and Fling Ling Fit seems that bothfof them have some unusual obsession with thefchist. Moreover, this fees not fan exception. Next Fun Ziftalkt Tofmore Thanfer Dozenfgirls from the Starwins Knights, almost foothout exception with similar symptoms. This is the first time Yunfeleven found that thef strange custom of class division bifchist appeared functiously in the Starwins Knights. Even this ranking is more authoritative than thef strength ranking. Because the battlelif power ranking for Thef stars nights will always change except for Thef top 5 FBUT the franking of the chest will remain unchanged. Most of the nobles have a amazing chest circumference, they fare onlif worried about for shape and stiffness for Thef chest. The civilian girls are extremely distressed by their small breasts, figure for larger and more beautiful breasts. Why do you have the same worries? Aref no for the worries? Yun for 11 listen edfdo thef girls troubles fand was embarrassed tof look at the starwin's nights who were obsessed with breasts. At the same time, the fun formed demonth pasture in fun 11's mind begamfdo respond to the feelings hef had absorbed fand herfchist gradually expanded. Demons arif born in response tof hundreds of millions of desires in the world. Fevery per somfwo opens the ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll will encounter different demons. Well, there is no doubt that Yumph's demonth started to become strange. Lilibet he Azuref Excalibur is cold and mysterious. The starwing night girls desire big breasts. All kinds of information fair mixed tThe and refined. Yun Zif knew nothing about this. When the sun went down Yun Zif put af sign saying pause reception von thefcabin, left from thef back door fand returned to the room where the big white wolf was located. Taking forth thef six-eyed demonth mask hanging from his face, Yun for 11 breathed far sigh of relief. Far's always the big white light ball was suspended in the center of thef secret treasure room, pretended to be for cloud fand turned for blindfi tof Yun she. It's really difficult to cultivate the demons. Yun Zif checked thef mask and sighed. The big white ball suddenly flickered. What is this human saying? Has hef really cultivated the ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll? Moreover, the realif started tof shape thef demons. There is no reason. This is the ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll. Before opening fit, even Buddhist cultivators fave tof recite sutras thousands of times tof pray for Buddha's blessing. How can mortals cultivate such a thing? It will attract disasters from foreign demons. Just getting started requires great wisdom and perseverance. You can't just wherefore mask do simulate the scent of demons. If you want to see the demons, you must be close to them yourself. What kind of evil ways did the boy throw himself do? How cold hef collect so much emotional power from this mortal body and opened thef door tof the demons? Black hair fetish. Lesbian fetish. Chest fetish. Foot fetish. Yun Zif counted the emotional power collected bif the six-eyed demon mask. The Maref saw fit, thef more bewitched he became. Before wearing this mask tof disguise himself as afdemon, hefted in know that thef girls had so many kinds of troubles. What should fi doff with thef girls of the Starwin's nights, who fare especially if suffering from the Samef disease collectively? Thef big white flight ball fluttered tof Yun 11 sef side and froze at the moment when it saw the patterns on the six-eyed demon mask. Here. Here. How can this be possible? Is this Geifer reincarnation of afdemon? How cold have collect so much emotional power fin less than half a day? In order to make this originally blank, FSIX-eyed mask produce patterns, fit wolf take at least dozens of unforgettable flow relationship. Even those great cultivators and saints can't gather such for huge amount of emotional power fin such for short time. These young girls' emotional power is the source of their supreme demons. Did this boy fuse cheat? The speed of cultivation fees too slow. Yun for 11 looked fat thef six-eyed demonth mask whose fattens on occupied small part, fand begamfto wonder fifth hefwold skip class and set up for stolf outside thef white Lotus sword palace. Is this slow? If thef monks who were troubled fee this heard your words, they fooled cry. Isn't far normal cultivation program supposed to look forth the lovers woe are of troubled by flove, and felp themfto get rid of it? What is the speed of collecting for motions? How do you cultivate? Why could you collect the power of feelings and thoughts so easily? Well, fit has been decided. The number of girls suffering from flove in the sword palace is limited after fall. I go outside and set up for stall. In this case, vi should förber ablefto quickliff collect theft materials usedto summon the demons fun zif made a very serious plan. Due tOffThe imminent danger of zarkas, cultivating the ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll become the top priority. The teenager Hua was worried about for love with their Zakov sisters didn't realize what far wonderful thing Hef was doing. Flet us fles this brave star child. This guy cheated seeing yun for leven to kef the mask finto his farms, the white lightball sent fout and fangry and hysterical protest. Nofway. It can t bif possible. Chapter 854 Dreams Come True. In the White Lotus Sword Palace, a small circle of girls began to spread a wonderful legend. It's a legend about a cabin with incredible power. It is said that this cabin will quietly appear in a corner of the White Lotus Sword Palace, and only girls who are troubled by love can see it. The name of the cabin is -Heart Asking. Walking into the cabin, you can meet a mysterious man with a mask. This mysterious person will listen to your story and give answers. It is not divination or prophecy, but as long as you can walk into the Heart Asking cabin and tell your troubles, you will be lucky. The Heart Asking cabin is the cabin representing luck. This legend, which only spreads among girls, is passed down from one girl to another, and soon the secret will no longer be a secret. The next day, when Yun11 opened the door, he was shocked to find that there were several young girls waiting outside the cabin. They even lined up with good manners and came in one after another. "Hello, master. When did I become a master?" Yun11 looked at the girl who was being very respectful to her. She was one of the Starwind's knights. If nothing happens, her problem will also be breast fetishism. No she. Yun11 looked at the familiar figure in front of him and felt something was wrong. It is a very special talent that other members of the Starwing Knights don't realize. The talent is similar to Little Witch Rose's. Her petite figure was undergoing some special changes. There were some troubles between the girl's eyes and eyebrows, but there was also excitement. I tease her. Her name is Xiao Yi, a member of the civilian fiction of the Starwing Knights, and her friend is Xiao Mi. Both of them had contact with him as a prince in the world of the Dragon War. At that time, he realized that there was a clear gap between her chest and the size of other civilian faction girls of the Starwing Knights. Now, after experiencing the world of the Dragon War, her development seems to be getting better. Although most of the girls of the Starwing Knights are still developing, her growth rate is 10 times faster than others. It is like a small seed sprouting. After countless hard efforts, it finally sees the sun and absorbs rain and dew to grow. I have a secret that I cannot tell you. Xiao Yi, who didn't know that Yun11 had known everything about her, blushed and looked at Yunexi's six-eyed demon mask. I may be ill. If you tie up your developing chest like that, you will surely get sick. Don't worry, everyone will forgive you. Yun11 smiled and comforted the nervous Xiao Yi, and then looked at her chest with tender eyes. Master, did you know? In front of Yunxi, Xiao Yi felt that everything had been seen through. Sure enough, the legend is true. The mysterious master has the power to listen to people's troubles. As long as you hear the voice of the master, you can have luck. Girls have a special attachment to luck, especially girls who are in love. They will do whatever it takes to obtain luck. Keep your head up and don't hide it. Everyone will be happy for you. Knowing the source of Xiao Yi's troubles, Yunexi's suggestion is to tell the secret. But in this case, I feel like I am betraying everyone. I don't know what happened. It seems that my chest started to get bigger overnight. Obviously, I didn't use the demon dragon blood. Xiao Yi shyly put her hand into her clothes and untied the bandage that made her chest tight. Poof! The elastic mountain peaks released from the bondage made lovely sounds, and immediately filled up the seemingly ordinary parts. Among the civilian fiction girls of the Starwing Knights, the size of her chest was too detached. Sometimes, talent is really important. This talent of magic source proves that Xiao Yi is very suitable to become a witch, and even has the potential to become a great witch. After all, the total magic power of a witch is the size of her chest. Goo! Yunexi's throat shrugged as he looked at the tips that had swelled after she untied the bandage. He knows the size, but seeing it personally is totally different from the cold data. Xiao Yi's chest is really developing well. I'm afraid that other girls will reject me when they know this secret. In the village where I lived, something terrible happened when someone suddenly got a treasure that everyone didn't have. Everyone started to envy that person and repel that person. Finally, that person could no longer stay in his village and had to leave the village. Xiao Yi's eyes were dim, as if she remembered something bad. That person in fact is herself. Yoon 11 can understand that feeling. This kind of thing often happens in closed and backward areas. Because the vision is too narrow, because everyone is poor, people can't accept that someone suddenly becomes rich, so they can't regard the rich as the same kind, even if that person was once poor. However, this kind of thing will not happen in the Starwing Knights. Because they are connected with Yoon 11 by seeds, they are an unusual special group. Because of this, Xiao Yi can awaken the talent of the witch in her body, which is the most suitable talent for her. Believe it, trust the people you trust. You value them so much and they will certainly value you so much. You don't need to feel inferior because your chest is getting bigger. It's a beautiful thing, isn't it? Xiao Yi looked at Yoon 11 with a flushed face and nodded. Well, I like the enlarged chest, which is my dream. Ah, girls' dreams are always picturesque, but why are the dreams of the Starwings Knights girls almost all breast fetishism? Yoon 11 looked into the distance with confused eyes. Chapter 855, Common Dream. After seeing Xiao Yi off, Yoon Shi welcomed another familiar figure. This guest was Xiao Yi's best friend. I know a secret. Xiao Mi looked at Yoon Shi with pitiful eyes, just like a girl who accidentally ate the forbidden fruit. Is it about the chest? Yoon Shi is almost familiar with the common troubles of the Starwing Knights. Well, it must be an illusion, an illusion. Wow, the master is really smart. Xiao Mi's eyes sparkled with hope and nodded desperately, just like a little dog who wanted to be touched by its owner. It's the trouble of the chest. I know what I shouldn't know. Master, you should know that we, the Starwing Knights, want to fight against the demon dragon. I know this plan, but isn't it a joke? Yoon Shi looked at the excited Xiao Mi. The 8-headed demon dragon is the strongest king who has escaped successfully under the siege and pursuit of many flat-chested female gods, great mags, and immortals, and has occupied the first place on the wanted list of the endless gods' domains all year round. The Starwings Knights, who only have a few hero-ranked girls, is impossible to meet the legendary cunning demon dragon and obtain its blood. Despite the fact that this plan is still in its early stages, we have already seen results. Only there is a traitor among us. Speaking of this, Xiao Mi's eyes became fierce. Does she mean Xiao Yi? Shouldn't we bless Xiao Yi whose chest becomes bigger? Yoon Shi had a moment of doubt about the relationship between the girls of the Starwing Knights. Xiao Yi. I saw her secretly taking a bath at midnight. When I wanted to wash with her, I accidentally saw her secret. Her chest has become so big. Xiao Mi reached out her hands like holding a round big watermelon, with a frightened face. No, it's not that big. If you hang a watermelon on your chest, something will happen. It's probably the size of a plump pear melon. This is wrong. Why doesn't she tell us? Xiao Mi was obviously very confused. On the other hand, Xiao Yi is her good friend. On the other hand, it's every one of the Starwing Knights. Are you jealous? Yoon Shi launched the six-eyed demon mask's ability and listened to the girl's heart. Of course, I would be jealous. Xiao Yi hid this secret from me and everyone. Xiao Mi had a righteous expression, which seemed to be the kind of thing Xiao Yi was most worried about. However, Yoon Shi believes that the Starwing Knights is not the village where Xiao Yi was born. It is different here. She should have said it. Why should she treat this as a secret? This is obviously the most worthy thing for everyone to celebrate. In this way, our civilian faction of the Starwing Knights has a representative who can make me happy. Why do you involve me? Yoon Shi looked at Xiao Mi with a confused look on his face. I wonder if she will give everyone a surprise when her chest becomes bigger. So, I want to keep this secret for her, but I have to endure very, very hard. Now that I have said it, I feel happy at once. Xiao Mi patted her chest. Although her chest was not as big as Xiao Yi's, it already has a pretty size. I think this secret should be no longer a secret immediately. Yunshi breathed a sigh of relief. Sure enough, everyone in the Starwing Knights has a gentle and tolerant heart. Xiao Yi's worry is totally unnecessary. The changes in her body are exactly what the Starwings Knights wants to see. The Starwings Knights, who all have a breast fetish, how can they reject such a lovely Xiao Yi? Is Xiao Yi going to say it? Seemed to have thought of something, Xiao Mi looked at Yunshi with surprise. Yunshi nodded. This secret has been no longer a secret since Xiao Yi left here. She has gained confidence in facing other girls of the Starwing Knights. Big chest, for the Starwing Knights, is a kind of belief. That's great. Long live Xiao Yi. I also want to know what secret recipe she used that makes her chest become so big. Did she get the rare demon dragon blood? Xiao Mi's eyes sparkled. It was an infinite longing and hope. It is the ultimate fantasy of the Starwing Knights to let their chests get bigger, and then be loved by someone. I don't think so. Yunshi's mouth twisted. The legend that the dragon blood of the multi-headed demon dragon could enlarge the breast really drove the girls crazy. From the goddesses to the girls of the Starwing Knights, the girls all placed their hopes on the demon dragon. The legendary dragon, who is strong enough to fight several legend-ranked beings at the same time, is wanted by the entire Endless Gods domains because its blood can enlarge girls' breasts. It's really tragic. It can only be said that it is too unfortunate to be found that its dragon blood can enlarge breasts. You are innocent, but a big chest is the dream of countless girls. Chapter 856, Special Guests That night, with a shy expression, Xiao Yi opened her mind and showed her enlarged chest to other girls of the Starwing Knights. Xiao Yi, you finally said it. Xiao Mi hugged her good friend and rubbed her chest with great strength. Ling Ling was like a little dog. She smelt and gave a very high evaluation. Yes, good breast. Great, it seems that we still have hope. Although this is a special case, Mai Lan was very pleased to see the rapid growth of Xiao Yi's chest. Really, why should we hide such a good thing? It's great. I'm so envious, Xiao Yi. Did you eat something good? Yes, hurry up. Tell the truth and hand in the latest recipe. Woo, why can't I meet such a good thing? Yunshi smiled and looked at the noisy Starwings Knights. As he imagined, even if Xiao Yi told her secret, she was not rejected by her companions. There is envy and jealousy, but they will not regard Xiao Yi as an alien at all, but really feel happy for her. Thank you. Thank you all. My diet is milk in the morning, banana milk at noon, papaya milk at night. Xiao Yi was like a petted animal, showing a happy and coquettish expression, and revealing her breast enhancement package. Well, this diet is not strange at all. It is a diet that is very popular in the Starwings Knights recently. Originated from the dessert set meal of a secretary of the Starwing Knights. Yes, that is the one who is staying with Xiao Yi at the moment. Ling, what the master said is really true. Looking at the friends around her, Xiao Yi was intoxicated with a sense of happiness. Yunshi felt that the six-eyed demon mask in his arms also exuded a satisfying atmosphere. It seemed that it had gained a lot from the girls of the Starwing Knights. The Heart AskingtCabin has only opened for 2 days, and Yunshi has received dozens of young girls. Among them, about 10% of them are hair fetishists. In addition, there are 15% of girls are maid fetishists. Lesbian fetishists are up to 20%. The largest breast fetishism exceeded 30%. In addition to these main fetishisms, there are also strange fetishisms such as foot fetishism, princess fetishism, unrequited love, I just want to be trampled on by a big sister, etc. If he had not listened to the girls' descriptions, Yunshi would never have imagined that the talented girls in the White Lotus Sword Palace would have so many complex sexual habits. Yunshi felt deeply inadequate for his shallowness, and at the same time, he became more aware of the strength of the ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll. In only 2 days or so, he had collected about 1/10 of the emotional power needed to use the six-eyed demon mask. The ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll is indeed the Buddhist cultivation method recommended by Linga, the secret treasure of White Lotus. It is really easy to use. At this rate, he should be able to complete the introductory chapter of the ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll this month, and successfully use this six-eyed demon mask. She also expressed his curiosity about what kind of demon this six-eyed mask would show. While she worked hard to cultivate the ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll, the news about AskingtCabin finally began to spread in the White Lotus Sword Palace. Almost all the girls in the White Lotus Sword Palace knew about this little secret. Finally, the news reached the real owner of White Lotus Sword Palace. In the Witch Palace, in front of the altar of the twin witches, White Lotus, wearing the ring of stars and the moon, was beating the golden balance in front of her, discussing the secret of the so-called AskingtCabin with her sister Red Lotus. The mysterious person who can see through the hearts of others. When did we have that kind of outsider in the White Lotus Sword Palace? Red Lotus seemed puzzled. As the highest witch in White Lotus Sword Palace, she had never heard of such a person here. The identification number is this? White Lotus looked at the special sign of the AskingtCabin displayed by the guard boundary of White Lotus Sword Palace, and a mysterious smile appeared on her lips. The cabin was recognized by the White Lotus Sword Palace, and naturally integrated into the whole White Lotus Sword Palace's guard system, even ranking in the top 5 of system priority. She knew what this meant. In the White Lotus Sword Palace, there is only one person who can do this. Not the current White Lotus Sword Master. His standing was much lower than the AskingtCabin in the White Lotus Sword Palace. The AskingtCabin has the highest authority, while the White Lotus Sword Master has only secondary authority. In this way, the identity of the owner of the AskingtCabin is almost clear. There is only one person with the highest authority in the White Lotus Sword Palace, except them. That is a special authority obtained from the Sky Sword. It's a very honored guest, sister. I heard that his suggestions on love are very effective. Shall we go and see him? After knowing who the owner of the AskingtCabin was, White Lotus couldn't wait to see him. I'm not interested in love or anything. As long as you are in White Lotus, I don't need any love. Red Lotus's face suddenly turned red and protested fiercely. Unfortunately, just like countless protests in the past, Red Lotus, who dotes on her sister endlessly, would pick stars in the sky if White Lotus asked. So on the third day of the opening of the AskingtCabin, she met a pair of special guests. END field separation characters. If you are reading on a pirate site, you will see this. Welcome to read our novels on GreatlXia.com, where you can read more chapters in advance. 5. FZQ is JST. Chapter 857, The Visiting Twin Witches. Damn, how is it them? Yunshi's heart thumped when he saw that extremely special pair of figures. He took advantage of the special permission he got from Cassina the battle god to build the AskingtCabin in White Lotus Sword Palace. He thought it was a secret. As a result, the secret that girls know can no longer be a secret. It's like secretly planting fruit trees in someone else's garden, and the owner of the garden comes to visit. Yunshi felt a little guilty. Yes, there won't be any problem, will there? Yunshi pressed the six-eyed demon mask on his face, which is a magic mask from the ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll. It can completely change his temperament, and he now appears as a male. No one will connect him with my. Most of the Stars Knights have come to the AskingtCabin to talk to him, and no one has found the truth behind the six-eyed demon mask. It's okay. At least Red Lotus will never find out. The problem is, White Lotus. Yunshi has never seen through this mysterious witch. Unlike her sister, who is impulsive, belligerent and very easy to understand, White Lotus always has a slight smile on her mouth, which gives people an ethereal feeling. When she appears in front of people, most of the time she gives a trustworthy sense of stability. She is the brain of the twins. Only in front of Yunshi, she will appear sweet and lovely, like a child who knows nothing about the world. Every time he meets White Lotus, Yunshi feels that his shallow wisdom has been seen through. White Lotus wisdom can be described as the wisdom similar to that of gods. She has the highest spirituality in Yunshi's cognition, and at the same time, she has the observation power that ordinary people can't imagine. She can always reach out to help Yunshi when he needs it most. Hey, liar, tell me honestly how much you cheated here. Red Lotus glared at Yunxi, who was wearing the six-eyed demon mask. It looked like she was going to fight if he didn't agree. I don't charge here. Yunxi looked at White Lotus, who put on with a smile on her face after coming in. Did she see anything? Is there a flaw? After revealing the seed connection with the twin witches, Yunxi can feel the Red Lotus in front of him like a burning flame. In contrast, White Lotus is like a deep sea, containing everything. Water and fire are two extremes, but they fit together perfectly in the twin witches. No charge. Red Lotus suddenly didn't know what to say. It doesn't make sense. Did you come to White Lotus Sword Palace to open a small house and do charity for free? Wait, there must be a conspiracy, a big conspiracy. Is it to cheat ignorant girls and do bad things to them? There's definitely a problem. Red Lotus beat the table excitedly and almost drew her sword at Yunxi, saying, I will do justice for heaven. Or, I will punish you for the sake of the moon. To be honest, do you mean to be unfaithful to our students in the Sword Palace? Have you done anything to them? The more you thought about it, the more angry Red Lotus became, and she had determined that the mysterious person in front of her was the enemy. This was from her intuition, so when she saw the guy in front of her, she felt angry. Sister, don't be too anxious. I believe this guest will not do such things. As always, White Lotus came out to support Yunxi at the right time, with a smile of expectation. Is it, Mr. Mystery Man? We are the witches of White Lotus Sword Palace. Won't you entertain us? I wonder if there is any delicious bread. She must know. A cold sweat fell behind Yunxi. The first time she met him, she could recognize him in the real world just by the clues in her dreams. At that time, he was an ordinary baker. Bread. Red Lotus's expression suddenly became gloomy because she had a strange dream a few days ago. In her dream, she ate a lot of delicious bread, and was done a lot of shameful things by a man. Although she forgot most of it when she woke up, the smell and familiar taste of bread in her mouth could not dissipate for a long time. This dream was really strange. What prince? What drama to save the world? What was this? Since having the dream of becoming a sleeping princess in the forest with White Lotus, everything has become abnormal. Damn prince, if I see you in the real world, I will kill you 10,000 times. No bread. Yunxi shook his head. After thinking for a while, he finally found something to entertain the twin witches. This is a treasure that even his teacher, Cassina the battle god, would covet. It is a treasure from tHeart, the water god. Mortals are absolutely not allowed to drink, even a drop will corrode their flesh and blood, but the twin witches in front are obviously qualified to drink this. Think of it as the room fee paid to them. After all, he really rented this place. He also used the authority of Cassina, the battle god, to integrate this place into the White Lotus Sword Palace's guard system. Would you like a drink? Yunxi took out the wine glass of tHeart. The real name is tHeart's Wine Warehouse, which is in the form of a wine cup. It stores the divine wine brewed by tHeart the water god from ancient times to the present. With Yunxi's current constitution, he can drink up to 3 glasses a day, and the number of times he can use the glass is just at the limit his body can bear. My lovely bride, are you satisfied with this gift? Although the wine is good, you can't drink too much, tHeart the water god. This smell. Red Lotus shrugged her nose and smelled the extraordinary green liquid in Yunxi's wine glass. This is. White Lotus also opened his eyes wide and looked at Yunxi, who took out tHeart's poison wine with surprise. END field separation characters. If you are reading on a pirate site, you will see this. Welcome to read our novels on GreatlXia.com, where you can read more chapters in advance. 6. Elkeres Liests. Chapter 858. Their hobbies. What kind of wine is this? Contrary to usual, Red Lotus looked at Yunxi with desire and even licked her lips involuntarily. According to Yunxi's experience in the Heart AskingtCabin for 3 days, Red Lotus was tempted. Well, does Red Lotus like drinking? It smells very special. It's pure brewing wine. What material is used for brewing pure pulp? No, the taste is agar pulp method. Yeah. Although not as excited as her sister Red Lotus, White Lotus was also obviously interested in the wine in Yunshi's wine glass, which is a very ancient rank in some gods' domains, whose duties are sacrifice, winemaking, and ceremonies. White Lotus knows all the famous wines, but she can't see the details of the green wine in Yunshi's wine glass. The brewing method seemed to be the oldest one, but she couldn't see more from it. The only thing she knows is that this is the highest quality wine, and the materials used are extremely precious. You want to bribe me? The wine must be poisoned. Red Lotus tried to back away from the good wine in Yunshi's wine glass, feeling something strange with her intuition. There's something wrong with this wine. Well, it's poisonous wine. People with poor constitutions can't drink it. With the blessing of tHeart the water god, he can drink only 3 cups a day, and he only drinks quietly when no one is around. It has to be said that tHeart's good wine is just like her body, very tempting. Every time he drank a cup, he can feel more vitality surging through his body, and this is because most of the wine's power is absorbed by the battle god's seed in his body. It seems that the battle god's seed from Cassina the battle god is sated by tHeart's poisonous wine. The seeds that should have been consumed gradually with Yunshi's repeated use, actually recovered. Poisonous wine, as expected. White Lotus stretched out her snow-white fingers, gently dipping a little tHeart's poison on her finger and placing it on the tip of her tongue. Just by touching a drop of liquor, White Lotus's snow-white face immediately became a little red. This smell is a raw material I don't know. Toxic, highly toxic. But it's the best wine. Red Lotus swallowed and looked at White Lotus, who was tasting the wine with conflicted and expectant eyes. The year is yes. With her rich wine-tasting knowledge, White Lotus finally knew the brewing date of tHeart's poison liquor. That's really an incredible number. It's unimaginable. Over 10,000 years. God, 1,000 years of brewing wine is almost the limit. If there is no special storage method and environment, no matter how good the wine is, it will solidify. The good wine of 10,000 years represents the vicissitudes of the times and is a treasure that requires countless human and material resources to store. Moreover, the age of this poisoned wine is far more than 10,000 years, which can be traced back to the era of the gods. In the age of gods, there had never been a lack of heroic gods and great heroes, all of whom were alcoholics, and even fought for good wine. The wine brewed in that era is also known as the highest masterpiece of the endless gods' domains. This glass of wine is worthy of a palace. Even legend-ranked existences would go crazy for it. At this moment, there was such a glass of wine right there. Even White Lotus felt incredible. Her prince. Is he even willing to give them the wine that can even make legend-ranked existences dribbling? Over 10,000 years, that's... Red Lotus could no longer look away from the crystal-clear emerald wine glass in Yunshi's hands. Even the twin witches have never seen the real wine of gods. This smell, this irritation. White Lotus blushed. The good wine of gods, as its name suggests, is prepared for the gods. Twin switches have incredible magical power, but their physique is far from reaching the level of Cassina, the battle god. Just a drop of liquor makes White Lotus feel a sense of inebriation. The diluted tHeart's venom contained in the verdant liquor constantly stimulated White Lotus' body. The stimulation was quickly transmitted to the body of Red Lotus through the link between them. The feeling of twins at this time is also synchronizing. What is this? Red Lotus's cheeks also slowly turned red, looking at the wine glass in Yunshi's hands with desire. It was a look of extreme desire and endurance. No, I can't. Drinking will lead to trouble. Red Lotus has 2 villains fighting in her mind. It doesn't matter. 1 cup, just 1 cup. You can't even get drunk after drinking 100 cups of wine. Drink. No, no, no. Unconsciously, Red Lotus found herself on the edge of the cliff, that is, Yunshi's desk. In the fierce struggle, Yunshi just put the last straw on the camel's back. He put the cup of tHeart's poisoned wine which had been tasted by White Lotus in front of Red Lotus. Goo. Red Lotus couldn't help it anymore. 1 cup, just 1 cup. Nothing will happen. No matter how strong the wine is, you can drink it in one go. With such fearless courage, Red Lotus bravely picked up the emerald green wine glass in the drunk eyes of White Lotus, and drank the wine in one gulp. Look, there's nothing to be afraid of. I won. Red Lotus licked the green liquor still left on her lips, with a proud expression of I am the winner. Sister, you're drinking too fast. White Lotus wanted to stop her sister, but it was too late. The wine can't be drunk like this. Something very bad will happen if you drink it like this. END field separation characters. If you are reading on a pirate site, you will see this. Welcome to read our novels on xiangxiengine.com, where you can read more chapters in advance. 0. LJ Stexgi. Chapter 861, White Lotus sobbing. It's a nightmare. Red Lotus slumped into Yunshi's arms, her bra half falling, and her face was impassioned. Drunken, she looked at Yunshi with eyes that were so wet that would make people feel excited. No. It's a dream, sister. Even if we are cursed like this, we can also love and be loved in our dreams. White Lotus was also drunk, but her eyes were still full of spirituality. Can we also get happiness? Obviously. I just need White Lotus, nothing else. I have nothing but White Lotus. Red Lotus shed a lot of tears, showing her weak side in front of Yunshi for the first time. I like my sister, but I also like the world. Even if our destiny is bound, I also want to have wings to fly. White Lotus gently hugged her crying sister and smiled at Yunshi. We are inseparable twins of destiny. Whether it's joy, sadness, or curse, all of them we feel the same. My prince from the stars, give us wings. Yunshi stared at the twins in his arms and seemed to know them for the first time. It turns out that even the twin witches that Hua Huo admires have their troubles. Red Lotus gave up everything for her sister. There is almost nothing in her world except White Lotus. White Lotus knows everything. She also likes her sister, but she doesn't want to be bound by the curse of twins. She longed for the wings that could fly and the brilliance that could break the shackles. They are all the same, innocent and lovely, but expressed in different ways. Red Lotus aggressiveness and White Lotus wisdom are the weapons they use to fight against fate. Red Lotus will not trust anyone except White Lotus. White Lotus chose to trust Yunshi, the prince she chose. The prince of White Lotus is not the son of the king in the world of the Dragon War, but the hope that she brings dawn to the son of her chosen destiny. Is this really okay? Yunshi, who knew that White Lotus had seen his true identity, took off his six-eyed demon mask. In front of her, there is no need to hide any secret, or it is difficult to hide even if you want to. Wearing the ring of stars and moon, she seems to have a natural ability to see through his disguise. No matter whether he is disguised as the great sword maid or a demon, she can use her gentle eyes to find his real body. I am obviously very ordinary. You don't know this, but not long ago, I was just an ordinary baker. White Lotus covered her sister's eyes and smiled gently. I know, my prince, Yunshi. It doesn't matter what's your origin, where you come from, or what race you are. I believe that you can create miracles because you have the courage to kiss us. In the impermanent darkness, only you are willing to approach us and break the darkness of our destiny. Haven't you noticed that no one, except you, will look at us with normal eyes? We are the twins of fate but also cursed. My sister is afraid that I will be hurt, so she tries her best to protect me from the dark side of the world. She's just too worried about me. So, give up everything. White Lotus's fingertips gently stroked the drunken Red Lotus's hair and told Yunshi, I like such a sister. She is irreplaceable to me. If my sister dies, I can't live. This is our destiny. Therefore, I hope that my sister and I will be happy together. My sister will also like the person I like. She won't really hate you. Her bravado is because she is more self-abased than I am, and she can't believe that someone really likes us like this. Yunshi hesitated for a moment, but still couldn't understand. Why does she think so? You are so beautiful and lovely. White Lotus shook her head and raised her hand that was connected with Red Lotus's hand with a silk thread. This is the proof of the inseparable fate of twins, and it is also a curse. It is a foreign object that connects the two people at the beginning of their birth. We are really different. Our birth was a huge mistake. In the history of witches, there have never been monsters like us. My sister and I know this, so we can't open our hearts to anyone. Most people are actually afraid of us and can't regard us as human beings. Maybe they are not wrong, we may really be inhuman things. Therefore, we can have such power. As the price of obtaining power, we are no longer regarded as mortals, but the embodiment of the will of gods. As witches, we are the best. However, the more excellent a witch is, the less human she is. Then she paused and her cheeks turned red. Only you, the prince, can really tell us how beautiful and lovely we are. You have enough courage to contact us, accept us, and kiss us. Only you like this can be our prince. We don't allow a second person to kiss us or touch our bodies. The first time and the last time, the witch will only be dedicated to the person she loves, and she will never regret being put into the fire and burnt to ashes. This is the last freedom of the witches who give themselves to the gods. Ah, is that so? Yunshi remembered the first trial task given to him by the will of the great stars, and he felt that he could not laugh or cry. It seems that the great stars have already understood the particularity of the twin witches and guided him to kiss them awake. It turns out that the origin of everything is the task of waking up the princess. Destiny is indeed a wonderful thing. Actually, I'm not as good as you think. I escaped from terrible things, and I have powerful enemies that I can never defeat. I can't give you any guarantee, because I don't know how long I can live. Even so, are you willing to look at me like this? This is Yunshi's answer to White Lotus, and it is also his rare voice to disclose to others. Chapter 862, Hua Huo. In this life, I will only love you. Even if I turns into ashes, I will come to you, my prince. If this is not love, then there will be no love in the world. White Lotus and Yunshi's fingers crossed, looking at each other. Perhaps, only when she was drunk to this extent, could she speak her mind without any restriction. Yunshi was drunk. It's clear that he didn't drink even a drop of Hydra's poison wine, but he was still drunk. He gently opened his lips to say something. White Lotus was waiting for his answer. Even Red Lotus opened her eyes vaguely and looked at Yunshi with hot eyes. Well, he always thought that kind of look was very terrible. It was like he was someone who took away her most important treasure, her sworn enemy. At this time, a new visitor arrived outside the AskingtCabin. Go. Go. A simple and powerful knock on the door, with a rhythm, which made Yunshi suddenly cold behind. It was an extremely bad premonition, just like being caught when derailing. Yunshi was really familiar with the rhythm of knocking at the door, because he had heard of it countless times when he was still the baker in the small town. The guy who bothers other people's love is really disliked. The expectation in White Lotus's eyes suddenly became helpless. There is no problem for anyone except this person. Even if Cassina the battle god came from outside, it would not be more difficult than this person. Woo. Before Yunshi had time to react, his lips were blocked by White Lotus. It was a kiss from a girl who was unwilling to give up. It was also a kiss that announced that she would never admit defeat. The smooth tongue constantly demanded everything from Yunshi. Although its proficiency was not comparable to that of Yunshi, the affection contained in it made Yunshi feel soft. Yunshi once again tasted the ice cream flavor of White Lotus, and he ate enough at one time. One day, Prince, you will understand. We will never give up. After kissing Yunshi forcefully, White Lotus grabbed the mark and used the highest authority of White Lotus Sword Palace to create a hole in the wall of the AskingtCabin, and hid inside with her wobbly sister. Obviously, she didn't give up. At this time, it seemed to be aware of something. The knock on the door outside the AskingtCabin became rapid, like the prelude to a storm. Here comes. Yunshi, a little guilty, put on the six-eyed demon mask again and opened the door. Strange, why didn't you open the door? Not surprisingly, it was Hua Huo, Yunshi's invincible childhood sweetheart and first love, who was knocking on the door. You are. Yunshi never thought that his AskingtCabin would let him meet Hua Huo. Does she also have love troubles? The taste is very similar. Hua Huo shrugged her nose, and the green hair on her head pointed straight at Yunshi. This is the man. If this knife-shaped green hair could speak, it will definitely shout out. Why am I so upset? Have we met? Hua Huo looked at Yunshi with suspicious eyes. She always felt that this mysterious man had a vague sense of familiarity. It seems that Yunshi is somewhat similar to this person when he grows up. That kind of stable and calm temperament was very similar to her little Shi's. Maybe we once saw each other a long time ago. At that time, you were still young. Yunshi said the true lie without changing his tone. Did you really know me in the Western God's domain? Hua Huo nodded, which was regarded as approval of Yunshi's answer. Although they were all terrible memories, and she didn't like her life there, the sense of familiarity can be explained in this way. The person in front of her emitting a little inhuman smell. He should be a demon. However, since he has obtained the permission of White Lotus Sword Palace to operate here, he should not be a man-eating monster. There are also many kinds of demons, and the demons that can make her feel good are rare. This time, forgive this demon who lives in the human world. Your strength is to listen to human troubles. Sitting in front of Yunshi, Hua Huo smelled the residual smell in the air. It's a very strange fragrance, mixed with strong wine fragrance and female fragrance, and this fragrance gives people a feeling of burning all over the body. It is a kind of incense that can promote blood circulation. The ingredients even include the legendary elf's golden orchid. Who in the Sword Palace is so extravagant and carries this level of sachet? This is a magic medium that can be used to perform some high-level spiritual secrets. Yes, but I'm just listening. I can't guarantee any useful suggestions. Love, sometimes there is no answer. Facing Hua Huo, Yunshi was under tremendous pressure. Why? He just wants to quietly hide here to cultivate the ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll. How could he be involved in such a terrible scene? Fortunately, Hua Huo didn't seem to see through the ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll, but the rotating green hair cluster above her head seemed to have found something. In Yunshi's memory, this green hair cluster was not so conspicuous before. When did it upgrade? Well, can you see why I'm upset? Hua Huo also broke into the heart AskingtCabin on a whim, and she couldn't explain why. It seems that if she didn't break in, something terrible would happen to her in this heart AskingtCabin. This was her strong instinct. She scanned Yunshi with her special search radar. Well, today's White Lotus Sword Palace is also full of red alerts. Since you will come here, are you also worried about love? Yunshi asked carefully. Yes, I have been worried recently. Hua Huo sighed. Is it true that only when you are hugged by someone you like, can you have complete love? The troubles of girls in love are so dreamy. Chapter 863, The Trouble of Chidhood. Sweetheart, this should vary from person to person. Yunshi looked at his childhood sweetheart with sweat. Is she aware of something? White Lotus and Red Lotus were right beside him now. Prince, do you want to hold her in front of us? It seemed that after listening to Yunshi's troubles, the voice of White Lotus suddenly appeared in Yunshi's ears, causing his mouth to twist. At this time, what kind of expression should I show? But what my daughter has done, I can't do myself. I have shared the memory of my daughter, that kind of thing. Hua Huo blushed, unspeakably cute and moving. Although she didn't see that the mysterious person in front of her was Yunshi, she naturally showed her most beautiful side. The girl in puberty is so full of temptation. Well, this trouble. I can't help it. Yunshi could hardly look at Hua Huo's face directly. Did she actually share the memories of 4 Zarkas in the Dragon War world? In that trial, he and the 4 Zarkas had a lot of shameful memories. Desert Dragon Zarka's wild swaying waist. Ice Dragon Zarka's creamy white skin. Red Dragon Zarka's chest. Black Dragon Zarka's curiosity. No, the nosebleed is coming out. People in the trial can't retain complete memory, only recall some of the most profound parts, but not Yunshi, he can remember it all. His skillful kissing and understanding of Zarka's bodies are 100% preserved. This is also the reason why he had to cultivate the ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll. He could not guarantee that he would keep calm after facing the 4 Zarkas in the real world. Rather, he could predict that he would certainly fall when facing the temptation of 4 Zarkas. Without cultivating the ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll, he can't survive it. In retrospect, they are all part of Hua Huo, so he has no resistance to them. They are just like his natural enemies. Compared with the reserved Hua Huo, they are just like young brides who are naturally fond of him and let him eat. The event of obtaining their hearts was completed as early as in the world of the Dragon War. Their bodies are so weak, even struggling is pointless. Just thinking of their shyness when they shed white socks, their lovely toenails on their white feet, and their smooth, delicate and tender skin. Every bend of the snow-white calf, every twist of the slender body, and every whimper of the tender voice, are so soft and tender. No, I'm delusional again. After returning from the Dragon War world and bumping into Desert Dragon Zarka in the real world, Yunshi found that his battle god seed was always ready to move. It seems as if it has remembered the life breath of Zarkas. The battle god's seed wants more from them. Of course, the main source is the girl in front of him. The original giant dragon, Hua Huo, has a total amount of essence that the 4 Zarkas can't match. If he did the same thing with Hua Huo, he may get a terrorist force far greater than the 4 Zarkas. Yunshi has this feeling. But that is not possible, because Hua Huo's holds the most special position in Yunshi's heart. He likes Hua Huo and regards her as his most important person, but because of this, he cannot hurt her so easily. He likes Hua Huo, and Hua Huo also likes him. Although they are obviously happy with each other, they both have a secret that cannot be told. Hua Huo knows this, and Yunshi also knows it. Both sides have a tacit understanding to keep silent. Yunshi won't ask where Hua Huo's power comes from. Hua Huo also kept silent about what the power Yunshi would awaken when he was 18 years old, and why his recent rapid development of cultivation. Yunshi likes everything about Hua Huo, and Hua Huo also likes everything about Yunshi. Therefore, both of them are waiting for themselves to become stronger, watching each other and protecting each other's secrets. This is a special relationship between Hua Huo and Yunshi, which can't be replaced by anyone. However, this special tacit understanding has changed due to the appearance of Zarkas. Hua Huo saw the fate branch of falling in love with Yunshi if she didn't restrain herself. Yunshi has tasted in advance the taboos that should not be violated. Hua Huo was worried and didn't know how to face Yunshi. Yunshi was worried. He didn't know how to deal with Zarkas. The troubles of girls and boys are intertwined, which makes the silent heart AskingtCabin full of the sour smell of love. Don't forget that there is White Lotus who just successfully confessed to Yunshi. Although Yunshi didn't give her answer, White Lotus reaped satisfactory results. The witch whose wisdom rivaled the gods has already seen through the entangled threads within the long river of destiny. There are the twins, Hua Huo and Yunshi, and many other girls in the Starwing Nights. Maybe it's not just love, but a lot of other things as well. However, the entangled threads of destiny can never be sorted out, which was a good sign for the White Lotus. Her Highness is the red thread that intersects and alters the threads that make up the river of destiny. I can't satisfy him for some reason. Hua Huo clenched her teeth and seemed to have finally made her decision. But my daughters should be able to do it. Chapter 864. What constrains Hua Huo? What I hesitated was whether I really wanted my daughters to get close to him. Although my daughters are actually a part of me, they always feel strange. They have the courage I don't have. They can always love bravely, but I can't do it myself. I have things I can't say to him, and I have damned restrictions. Speaking of this, Hua Huo's expression became very unwilling. Yes, she could have done it. Whether in the small town or in the White Lotus Sword Palace now, there were many opportunities for her to get closer to little she. However, she is carrying an unusual fate, as the strength of her blood makes it particularly easy to be violent because of her emotions. If her sky-flying bloodline goes completely out of control when making love with little she, no, it will certainly go out of control, then the result is really terrible. This is why she likes little she so much, but she can't go further with him. The power of the sky-flying bloodline has brought her incredible combat power, but it has also brought her great trouble. Recently, her strength has increased faster and her form is more unstable than before, which is really a big problem. If she suddenly spread her wings in front of little she, It must be a great tragedy. Obviously, she also wants to have the opportunity to do things that lovers should do with little she. At this time, her strong bloodline became her biggest bondage. Alas. That's why she envies Xarkas. So, that's really annoying. She was also struggling. He was also vaguely aware that Hua Huo never seemed to allow him to further contact her body. She seems to have some secrets that cannot be told, and she has always avoided further intimacy with him. However, Xarkas, who were bred by the original dragon in her dreams, were so enthusiastic about him that they would even betray her. At that time, she found something hidden in Hua Huo. Is it not that she doesn't want to go further, but she can't? This kind of Hua Huo is pitiful and lovely, which makes she excited. I have been waiting for the time when I could really hold hands with him. I defeated all my opponents, but I was bound by myself. It's really unpleasant. One day, I will completely cut off all the shackles and gain real freedom for some reason. It's a secret that can't be told to little she, but Hua Huo can tell it in front of this person. Perhaps it is because he has the shadow of little she when he grows up, which can give her a sense of peace of mind. Is that what you want, then? She always felt that he had heard things he should not have heard. The secret that Hua Huo has been carefully protecting has slowly revealed a tip of the iceberg. It turned out that the original giant dragon who reigned in the world of the Dragon War, the invincible childhood sweetheart in his mind, would also have some troubles. She has the highest force to defeat all her opponents, but she can't defeat something she has to bear. Compared with the omnipotent Hua Huo in Yunshi's eyes, this kind of Hua Huo is more real and lovely. She is still the most dazzling star in Yunshi's mind and the Queen of Summer. She has the characters of all four Xarkas, she is the original giant dragon that can breed great creatures, and she is the eternal first love in Yunshi's heart. This enemy is too powerful. Hiding in the sandwich of heart AskingtCabin, White Lotus bit her finger and looked at Hua Huo, who knew nothing but attracted Yunshi's heart. She is not only powerful in reality, but also powerful in spirit. It is extremely difficult to interfere in the relationship of these two people. However, it is precisely because of this that the infinite possibility of fate is even more apparent, isn't it? The stronger the enemy is, the more convinced White Lotus will be. Only by defeating such an enemy can she change her destiny. Yes, I like him better than anyone else. Even if I can't do it now, I will join him one day and give birth to a child who can shock the entire endless God's domains. A child who has the strength of both of us at the same time must be the best of the entire endless God's domains. On that day, I will pick up our child and proudly declare to the whole world. This child was born king. Hua Huo's eyes became excited, and she narrated a story that was like a girl's fantasy. If it was other girls, Yunshi may only smile and thought this fantasy was very romantic. But if the object is Hua Huo, this may be a fact. She really believed and felt that she could do it. The birth of desert dragon Xarka is the best proof. Really, she's an incredible childhood sweetheart. I must have been lucky to meet her. If possible, I will give my child a golden dragon army, a red dragon army, an archangel army and a hydra army. The more Hua Huo talked, the more excited she became, as if she had seen part of the infinite future. Hey, is this to conquer the world? Even the gods will cry when they see so many armies. She couldn't help but look at Hua Huo immersed in the fantasy of the future. Compared with Hua Huo's invincible armies, Yunshi's vision of the future with Hua Huo was more real. A large house with a lawn where Maya and the dogs of the Star Spirit team can run freely, a tower where 4 Xarkas can fly happily, and a love nest for him and Hua Huo. In the spring, he can take them to the riverside for a picnic. In the summer, he could see their lovely appearance in swimming suits. In the autumn, they can roast sweet potatoes with fallen leaves. In the winter, they can make one snowman after another. Since he has accepted the existence of Xarkas, he will also regard the 4 Xarkas as his daughters after marriage with Hua Huo. Well, at that time, the ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll could help him resist the temptation of the 4 Xarkas. She still had great expectations for this scroll. Thank you. I think I understand what to do. Hua Huo was also surprised that the person had not raised any suggestions. She just said her troubles and naturally became refreshed. If little she grows up and becomes mature, can listen to her well and tolerate her everything, maybe it will be like this. It is clearly a demon, but it has some similarities to little she. Is this also fate? How much do you want? Hua Huo brought out the red gemstones, which were the remaining flame gemstones from when Red Dragon Zaka was conceived. Just one of them could probably buy a city. No, it is free. I just need to listen to your troubles, and I'll be satisfied. Yunshi shook his head and looked at Hua Huo more gently. The more you understand Hua Huo, the more you understand her strength. The more you know about her, the more you will like her. As the two people grew, this feeling of liking has not weakened, but rather has increased every minute. Hua Huo was the eternal brightness in his eyes, the star that will never disappear. If he can become the sun, then she must surely be the brightest star in the night sky. If I meet you on the battlefield in the future, I will let you go once. For Hua Huo, this promise is thousands of times more precious than the gem. Her destiny makes her bound to step on the battlefield with the demons at a certain time. This is the mission brought by her blood. This promise will come true one day. Hua Huo vaguely had such a premonition. The demon in front of her may be weak now, but he has some potential that she could not see through. In the future, this demon may even become famous in the entire Endless Gods domains. I think we will never meet on the battlefield. Yunshi didn't know that his demon appearance had even attracted the attention of Hua Huo. After all, for him, the talent of the six-eyed demon is just an accessory to the cultivation of the ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll, just like the butter one gets when buying bread. Well, goodbye. With a sense of satisfaction, Hua Huo left the HeartAskingCabin. Yunshi's six-eyed demon mask has also collected the most terrible emotional power so far. Hua Huo's emotions even filled 1/3 of the six-eyed demon mask. Yunshi looked at the sentiments collected by the six-eyed demon from his childhood sweetheart, and showed an amused look. It turned out that his childhood sweetheart's desire is so mundane and lovely. In this way, half of the emotional power to cast the real body of the six-eyed demon mask has been collected. Click. White Lotus pushed open the door of the sandwich, held Red Lotus who was completely drunk, and looked at Yunshi with a strange look. Chidhood's sweetheart is really the strongest enemy. The prince. I see. But this is the beginning. With a smile that puzzled Yunshi, White Lotus's fingertips stroked Red Lotus's cheek. The prince, I hope you will find it out earlier. What do you really look like? Chapter 865, Changes. What am I really like? Yunshi walked on the street of White Lotus Sword Palace, looking at the bustling street. Since the twin witches and Hua Huo visited the HeartAskingCabin, almost all the girls in White Lotus Sword Palace have known of the special features of the HeartAskingCabin. In the days after that, Yunshi almost knew the secrets of all the girls in White Lotus Sword Palace who were worried about love. It has to be said that the little secret hidden in the girls' hearts really surprised Yunshi. It turns out that girls who are troubled by love also have so many strange habits. Foot fetishism, breast fetishism, Oedipia. Well, it's better not to expose these private secrets. The more Yunshi listens to the girl's troubles, the more upset he became. Cultivating the ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll is more difficult than he imagined. The entire White Lotus Sword Palace provided him with roughly 60% of the power of emotion, which filled the 4 eyes of the six-eyed demon mask with the power of desire. So far, the introductory chapter of the ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll has been completed. If he lets the monks who are willing to cross thousands of mountains and rivers find opportunities to cultivate it, they will be stunned. Since the ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll was created, there was no such person as Yunshi. He didn't cut off evil karmas like the monks but listened to girls' troubles. If the monks also did this, their cultivation base would have been destroyed. However, Yunshi is not a monk at all. His goal of cultivating the ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll is very simple. During the cultivation of the ParanirmitatVasavartin Scroll, the only thing that Yunshi cared about was what White Lotus said to him, his real appearance. Why did she say that at that time? Why? The look in her eyes seemed to have many different meanings. Since that day, Yunshi has been troubled by this problem and began to reflect on what he has done recently. The trial of the Dark Fire Tower. The trial of the Water God World. The trial of the Dragon War. Every time he conducted a test of the Wood of the Stars, he would have an earth-shaking change. The ordinary baker who only dreamed of marrying a childhood sweetheart and living an ordinary life no longer exists. Because of the prompt of White Lotus, Yunshi was extremely aware of this now. Had I changed? Yunshi walked on a street that had become almost unfamiliar. This time, instead of using the disguise of Greatsword Mad, he used his real appearance. Anyone can also find that he is different from the past, but he has not realized this for a long time. Walking to the fountain in the center of a small square, Yunshi looked at his own shadow reflected on the water. How long has it been since he looked at himself like this? This familiar face has long been different from the boy in the small town. He has been blessed by Hydra the water god. With the star wings on his back, all the flaws on his skin have disappeared without a trace. Not only that, but also the plain face has become very soft and beautiful. Now he is moving towards some perfection. Maybe he is not as beautiful as the elf kingfisher, but he is also beyond the boundaries of ordinary people. Just gazing at his soft face will give one a sense of calm and peace. Pulling out the star wings, Yunshi stared at his reflection in the water. Time seems to be at a standstill at this moment, releasing a transparent white glow from the star wings. It's the white light from the distant blue sky, from the place above the infinitely deep clouds. As long as you see her with your eyes, your mind will be calm. As long as you hear her footsteps with your ears, your body will be quiet. As long as you touch her light, your soul will be at peace. Whispers from the other side of the starry sky echoed in Yunshi's ears. Is this me? What am I really like now? Yunshi looked at the reflection in the water and almost doesn't know the identity of the boy smiling at him in the water. Who are you? Where do you come from, and where do you go? What's your name? It's obviously me, but it doesn't seem to be me or what I think I am. In the eyes of the Starwing Knights, he is the black-haired maid who brings them luck. In the eyes of Hua Huo, he is the most important childhood sweetheart. In order to protect him, she even forced him to wear women's clothes and act as the great sword maid. In such an environment, Yunshi almost forgot that he was once an ordinary bakery owner and a teenager who lived an ordinary life before his 16th birthday. I really changed. Yunshi sighed. Without the hint from White Lotus, how long will he find it? He can't go back. If he wants to become stronger, he has to take Hua Huo as the goal, and constantly increase his racial limit, which also means that his life level is constantly improving. His snow-white skin, smooth black hair, strong and powerful heartbeat, and his temperament somehow changed are all naturally accompanied by the rise of life levels. In a word, it is beauty. The beauty that symbolizes order. The beauty that symbolizes truth. The beauty that symbolizes the harmony of all things. Power itself is the symbol of beauty, and extreme power often represents extreme charm. He stepped on the road of infinite transcendence, and he had already possessed inhuman charm unconsciously. Well, try it. Yunshi randomly found a target, a little girl who seemed to have lost touch with her relatives at the square and seemed to be about to cry. Chapter 866. The Colossus of Justice. Are you sad? Yunshi came to the little girl who was wiping her eyes and trying very hard not to cry. No. I just got a little lost. The little girl was very polite, but the way she hugged the puppet in her arms revealed her uneasiness at the moment. Let me accompany you. Are you waiting for someone? Aware of the little girl's uneasiness, Yunshi smiled and reached out his hand and touched her head. Ah. The little girl who was about to cry suddenly relaxed and didn't resist the approach of Yunshi. When you are sad, you should eat something sweet. Yunshi shook his finger, and then bread and butter formed between his hands. Wow. The little girl's eyes suddenly widened. Is this supernatural magic? Well, it seems that she is a well-educated lady. Bread making is an extraordinary skill that can only be accomplished by a baker at the hero rank. Only the baker can make food out of nothing at the hero rank. It seems to be just a piece of bread, but making it involves some extremely profound world rules. Although the principle of equivalent exchange still exists, it is a weaving transformation of the power of the world, so it seems that there is bread-making magic, which is truly extraordinary magic. The great mags of the Western gods' domain can summon a meteor fire rain, but they can't make bread out of nothing. This is a different field. Yes, this is third-ranked bread. If you eat it, you won't be hungry. Yunshi tore off a small piece of bread and butter and offered it to the little lady. Thank you, big brother. The little girl's eyes sparkled as if she had seen a hero. Only someone at the hero rank can make bread out of nothing. Aren't your relatives here? Yunshi quickly glanced around. There were no people in this small square who were anxiously looking for someone. It seems that the little lady's relatives are not in this area. Mom and Dad are gone. Speaking of this, the little girl bit her lips and tried to show a strong expression. Big brother, do you know where they are? Yunshi shook his head and stood up. This action made the little girl nervous. I'll help you. Don't worry. Yunshi comforted the little girl with a sad expression and made her laugh through her tears. What happened just now? When Yunshi gave the bread to the little girl, he felt a very strong murderous intent. Now, this feeling has not disappeared, and there is a trend of rising ships. Who is it, watching the child? Such a strong murderous spirit should not have appeared to this child. So, it's him? Is he being watched? Who is it? Yunshi looked around. Ordinary people were everywhere. He was unable to find the person who has the evil intention. Not the square, but... Yunshi looked up and saw a giant statue on the roof of the building at the edge of the square. It's him. The Colossus, with the word justice emanating from all over his body, leaped into the air directly, and then crashed down like a towering mountain. Boom! The ground shook violently, as if a meteorite had fallen. Let go of that girl. The red giant statue of justice roared, releasing an amazing threat at Yunshi. Is that you? Yunshi looked at the giant with a height of more than 3 meters, a body as hard as granite, and huge shackles on his neck and hands. At the Battle Gods competition, he once witnessed the majesty of this Justice Colossus. Unexpectedly, he came back to life so soon after dying under Xiao Cao's deadly sword. I won't say it a second time, get away from her. The red giant of justice twisted his neck and stared at Yunshi murderously. Red Stone, the strongman of the red steel genre, came on stage again. Do you know him? Yunshi asked the little girl who was hiding behind him and shivering. I don't know. It's terrible. Normal people will fear when they see this giant statue of justice, a ferocious monster far beyond human imagination. It seems that you are ready to continue. Red Stone stared at Yunshi. From the first moment Yunshi met the little girl, he sensed that some evil atmosphere was wrapped around this human's body. How can ordinary human beings suddenly take out bread to trick a little girl? There's definitely a problem. This is an abduction used against an underage girl. What? Yunshi had an expression of I don't know what you are talking about, which was in fact true. He had just tried to test the affinity he now had, and then gave a bread to the little girl who was separated from her relatives. Next, he was going to help her find her relatives. Why is this Justice Colossus so indignant? Don't admit it. You should be punished by heaven for your heinous crimes. Red Stone's eyebrows were burning. The strong men of the red steel genre, who are brave and vigorous and will never tolerate evil people, are all the embodiment of justice. They who seek to understand absolute power from the battle of life and death, never fear evil. Well, have you misunderstood something? Yunshi couldn't help but look at Red Stone with a look of hatred. Is there any misunderstanding? From just now on, I found that you are not a good human. What are you going to do with this child? A series of crackling crispy sounds came from Red Stone's body, which was a sign of the red steel genre secret art. Lava skin, blood of red steel, lava breath. After the battle of life and death with Xiao Cao, the barrier that had been blocking the further development of Red Stone finally broke. With profound accumulation, he successfully advanced to the 5th level of the hero rank. Now, he is one of the top 10 experts in the whole White Lotus sword domain. Even against the master of the White Lotus sword domain, he also has the chance to win. The experts of the red steel genre have always been the model of defeating the strong with the weak. Those who have trained to the extreme are almost the strongest at the same level. This has also caused their fiery temperament. Chapter 867. One punch. I just want to take this child to find her lost parents. She looked at Red Stone with a headache. Yes, Big Brother is the best. I want to be with my big brother. At this time, the little girl's solidarity was just to add fuel to the fire. For such a short time, even the words to be with Big Brother came out. Asshole. How dare you cheat on such a cute little girl? Innocent child, you don't know how dangerous the world is. This guy looks like a good man, but he must have no good intentions. If he kidnaps you, your life will be over. Little sister, come here and I will protect you. Red Stone stared at the little girl who hugged Yunshi's thigh, showed a scared expression, and tried to smile gently. However, compared with Yunshi with Red Stone's height of 3 meters and red skin, this smile is too ferocious. Whoa, whoa. The little girl cried and hid behind Yunshi timidly, not daring to look at the burning giant statue of justice. Alas! Yunshi saw the angry eyes of the other party, and knew that he was in trouble. You made her cry. Red Stone roared. You are the one who scared her to cry. Yunshi looked at Red Stone in silence. If you are a man, just come to fight me for 100 rounds. Red Stone, who turned into a giant of justice, raised his fists and collided fiercely. Boom! The hot sparks exploded. Justice, never absent. I will punish you. This is one of the reasons why the disciples of the Red Steel genre always give people a headache. Fighting without saying a word is very common for them. Little sister, go there and wait. It will be over soon. Yunshi touched the little girl's head and asked her to leave this place that was about to become a battlefield. The people nearby ran away in fear when Red Stone appeared as the giant of justice. The fight between the hero rank strong people is too dangerous for ordinary people. Well, come on, big brother, knock down that monster. The little girl kissed Yunshi and ran out of the square. You bastard, how dare you to let such a small child kiss you? Seeing this scene, Red Stone's whole body began to burn, with an unknown flame. At this time, he was not fighting alone. Fight. If he doesn't step on this damn face, he will not be Red Stone of the Red Steel genre, the giant of justice. I was entrusted by a young lady. If Yunshi was still the bakery owner from the past, he would have surrendered at this point. Not everyone had the courage to face this tall, red giant of justice. It was a battle force that could crush a country. However, the current Yunshi was not the same as the past Yunshi. He didn't retreat from the challenge of Red Stone. Since it doesn't make sense, it can only be communicated via a man's method. He was a disciple of Cassina the battle god and the owner of the battle god's seed. He was instinctively eager to fight. If people don't offend him, he will not be impolite to them. This is Yunshi's own benchmark. When you meet a challenger, beat him until even his mother can't recognize him. Such is the teaching of Cassina the battle god. In theory, the disciples of the battle god were more warlike than the disciples of the Red Steel. Yunshi's passive counterattack was an anomaly. The other disciples of Cassina the battle god were always the first to start a fight. Try your best to fight quickly. If the opponent was someone else, Yunshi may not be sure. However, the Red Steel genre is a martial arts genre that takes the hard body as its goal. And the hard body is Yunshi's talent. Exactly, the giant statue of justice thought so too. In the face of such a weak man, you don't need to consider any tactics, just crush him. Bang! Red Stone's 2 fists exchanged blows, his shoulders sank, and his muscles suddenly tightened. Boom! The next second, Red Stone turned into a righteous chariot burning red flames, rushing towards Yunshi. No other skills, just pure violence. The disciples of the Red Steel genre are so violent and capricious. They believe that power can defeat everything, and cultivate their own bodies to a non-human level. This Justice Chariot is one of Red Stone's unique skills. He has crushed countless hard things for the purpose of practicing this skill. At first, it was a huge stone taller than himself. Next, there were hills one after another. Furthermore, he would even hit the crystal veins that were harder than steel. There is no upper limit to the power of this justice chariot. As expected, Yunshi knew what Redstone was going to do when he saw his start. As a disciple of Cassina the battle god, he has a deep understanding of the various secret arts of the red steel genre. The cultivation method of the red steel genre is never a secret in the endless god's domains. However, the cultivation method is too painful. If there is no giant blood in your body, it is almost impossible for ordinary people to complete it. Forced cultivation often results in the collapse of the body. Not everyone is qualified to practice the hard body. Similarly, once the hard body is completed, the strong disciples of the red steel genre will have a truly immortal body, even in lava. Lava skin gives them defensive power like dragon scales. Lava breathing gives them endless energy. The blood of red steel endows them with destructive power like a volcanic eruption. The red steel genre strong men, who have mastered all three great martial arts, are simply living giants on the battlefield. However, Yunshi also mastered these skills. The ultimate goal of the three secret arts of the red steel genre is to obtain the hard body. Yunshi's body had long adapted to the hard body. If you want to fight, I will accompany you. The battle god's seed from Cassina, the battle god trembled his body with excitement. Yunshi took a deep breath, raised his left hand, and clenched his right hand into a fist, posing a pose. It is the most common fist posture, which is taught by all fighting schools. However, when Yunshi posed this pose, he looked like a steady mountain. Standing on the earth, you are the son of mountains. The battle with Desert Dragon Zaka and the Crazy King before has brought the battle god seed of Yunshi to a new stage. Yunshi has always compared himself with his invincible childhood sweetheart Hua Huo, so he never felt how great his growth was. He used this only because he instinctively felt that it was enough to deal with Redstone. Not caring who the enemy is, because he is undoubtedly stronger than them. He didn't even realize that the giant in front of him had just reached the 5th rank. Even in the entire White Lotus sword domain, it could be ranked into the list of the top 10. After being abused by the Queen of Assyria of the Forgotten Ruins countless times and challenging the invincible original giant dragon with the 4 Zaka sisters, Yunshi's battle awareness had already risen to an unimaginable level. Not everyone has the opportunity to revive in bonfire countless times, feel the great terror between life and death, and complete the sublimation of their flesh and blood. Yunshi, who was seriously short of common sense, had a very simple benchmark for judging the enemy. Those who he can't win are like his invincible childhood sweetheart, Hua Huo, mysterious twin witches, Cassina the battle god, Shea Longness the sky sword, and Lilibet, the guardian of the door. Those who he can win are probably Desert Dragon Zaka, Ice Dragon Zaka, Red Dragon Zaka, and Black Dragon Zaka. After seeing these strong people, his judgment of the enemy became very different from the common sense of the endless god's domains. Redstone is strong, of course. Even if it's a fighter at the 6th rank, the person is not likely to defeat Red Steel. Redstone's Justice Chariot can crush anything even if it is a mountain in front of him. However, his opponent is not a mountain, but Yunshi. With feet on the earth, Yunshi stepped into the realm that all the Red Steel genre's disciples had long dreamed of. In his eyes, there was a burning flame. The battle god's seed first expanded and then contracted. In this process, it released tremendous power instantly. Like a storm blowing across the sea. Like lightning across the sky. Like lava erupting from deep underground. Redstone had cultivated all 3 secret marts of the red steel genre, and finally broke through the barrier between the 4th and 5th rank of the hero rank. But Yunshi had cultivated the ultimate state of the 3 secret arts of the red steel genre, the hard body. His breath was more scorching than Redstone, who incarnated as a giant of justice. His heartbeat was as strong as a dragon. When he gathered his strength and stepped out of that step, the whole square suddenly trembled, as if a 50-meter-tall giant had stepped here. One punch. It's a simple punch, probably even a beginner can give such a punch. Similarly, there is no limit to its power. The higher the user's physical quality is, the more powerful he will be. Redstone's Justice Chariot is recognized as one of the most powerful skills in the red steel genre. It is a move that compresses and explodes the force of life all over the body, and rushes across the enemy in a sweeping manner. After this move is used, it can even crush a mountain of knives and flames. Keep moving forward and never turn back. This is Redstone's Justice Chariot. Until he met Yunshi's fist. Yunshi's fist seemed to be less than 1/10 of Redstone's fist. But with one punch. Like a storm, like lightning, like the fist of a volcano. Redstone could even clearly see the moment when his shoulder collapsed by this fist. Ka. Ka. The sound of broken bones and muscles. Bang. The sound of the body being knocked off, rolling like a sack. Redstone's body, which weighs more than several tons, was blown away by Yunshi's fist. He was crushed. Redstone, who turned into the giant statue of justice, was crushed. Yunshi's fist not only smashed Redstone's Justice Chariot from the front, but also broke the huge shackles that could resist the attack of god weapons, and blew Redstone away. The terrible fist power effortlessly penetrated the defense of lava skin, exploded into Redstone's flesh and blood, and made him vomit blood and roll instantly. At this moment, Redstone even began to doubt the meaning of his life. Compared with physical pain, what made him crazy was what Yunshi showed. That arrogant posture, that incomparable absolute power. Under this kind of power, his Justice Chariot is as fragile as a child's toy. He knows what kind of power it is and what kind of fist it is. Yunshi's fists have brought Redstone a familiar feeling. That is exactly the realm that all the strong men of the red steel genre pursue. The hard body. Bang. Redstone fell from a height of hundreds of meters, smashing a big hole about 10 meters on the ground. His shoulder collapsed completely, and his whole body was almost out of shape. Ha 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 ha. However, Redstone didn't feel upset but instead gave out loud laughter from the bottom of his heart. Yes, this is it. The hard body is really invincible. You're tuning in to the Dreamy Chapters YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.